Welcome back to our second series of the night. We're going to be moving over to Group B to determine those final kind of permutations that we need to work out. Group A, everything is sorted. We've got a three-way tiebreaker with PSG, LGD, Evil Geniuses, and 9 Pandas for the upper bracket and that lower bracket slots. But now for us, we need to work out what's going on in Group B. Both Tundra and Secret, still not guaranteed just yet. Tundra 3 and 9, Secret 5 and 7. So Secret have the potential to be in the upper bracket or the lower bracket. I mean, they even have the potential to be eliminated as well with results not going their way.
Is this for Secret? Because it's going to rely on some pretty significant results, I would say, not going their way. Looking at who Shopify and TSM are playing, the two teams underneath them, it is BB Team as well as Aster, the two teams that are really up towards the very top of the standings right now. So this really feels like the Team Secret series to mind. They still have the potential to put themselves into upper bracket contention if they're able to get a 2-0 against Tundra, which I don't know what it is. Obviously, they're still having a stand-in, but with a stand-in, they got third place at the Bali Major. So, there's certainly the potential there for this roster. What I want to see out of them is a little bit more of the Enigma, a little bit more of the Visage for Tundra Esports. Every single chance that they get to pick that Enigma, they've done it because they've got levels of flex with it. But every other time that it's been banned out, it hasn't been too good of a win-loss record for them.
Yeah, so we will see. We'll see if that's going to be let for them as well, because of course Secret, they are very much a Enigma team, so potentially we need to look at first pick overall, who has that priority. In fact, I should be able to find out. It is, there you go, Secret chose it. So are we going to look for the Enigma first pick from them? Quite often we're even speaking about Chrysalis and his hero pool, the Bloodseeker, the Monkey King. We've seen the Bat Rider be something that they really like to fall back on. Snapfires they open up with as well. So I think there's a lot that is going to be contested so far between these two teams.
I think so as well. And I want to see where Tundra go with this. It's really going to give me a sense of I don't know if respect is the right way to put it, but how much do they think the enemy team is able to play the Enigma? Do they want to run at the risk of letting it through? I think they're absolutely going to ban the Bat Rider on Tundra, but the Enigma, there's the potential of it being let through. I could just see that one being banned out as well, though, just to say, you know what, let's see what else you're able to throw at us.
Yeah. So I guess then what do we need to look at for, who are they trying to prevent in regards to the hero picks on Tundra? Like Secret, what are they going to be trying to take care of? You targeting 33? Because often we see, 33's heroes are banned out as well very, very early on.
I would say so. I mean, from what we've seen so far from 9 especially, he hasn't really been playing too many of the super meta heroes. Very little of the Snapfire, although the game that he did play it, I think he went 14-2 on that hero. So it's something that's very, very capable for him. But just for whatever reason, them and even the Gaming Gladiators have kind of gone away from what is the distinct meta of this tournament. But they're going to have to change something soon because it's getting to the point where Tundra will need a 2-0 to be able to stay in. You can't just run the risk of all results going your way.
Yes, so set yourselves up with a strong game one and then potentially use that momentum to pivot you into a good position in game 2 as well. But we will getting our draft underway. Like we said, Secret, they're going to be playing with first pick. They're on the die side as well. Tundra, second pick on the rating side. Early Pango ban, which I'd say is kind of interesting. I mean, I know we did just cover Quinn absolutely bodied BZM in the lane with the Pango, but definitely feels like it is not where the hero used to be, but obviously a lot of respect for 9's Pango.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing as well that I actually noticed after the fact, just looking at the skill build that he went on that Pangolier, he went 1 point in the lucky shot at level 4. So I think that was also part of the reason why he was able to get the lane into a much better situation than it was previously. Just that extra little bit of armor reduction, the disarm as well, just to enable him to get a few more free last hits in lane. And of course, when some of the rotations as well came through from Celery and Tofu, they were just a little bit more able to dish out the damage because of that armor reduction as well. And they are really targeting 9 here, huh?
Screw you, 9. You're on nothing to do with your shenanigans. So we will see what the last ban is going to be for Tundra. Is it the Enigma?
I'd get rid of the Enigma. I would. That Rider was by far the best priority. Okay, they're looking to put a little bit into Chrysalis. I understand it. But now what are they going to look to go towards? I mean, the IO's available. We've seen, a lot of people run IO Lesh strats with a good amount of success. Even the IO Storm Spirit. Snake King's really the one that's picking it up here in this tournament for Tundra. So I could see that being viable. I could also see Tundra potentially telegraphing a Razor pick for themselves. They're able to flex it between position 1, 2, and 3. So it's certainly a possibility with those two picks together. And what a surprise. Team Secret, with the ability to throw the Enigma into 3 separate positions themselves, are just going to open it up with a very stable pick. I would say if you just let them pick whatever they wanted, they're going to go for a Monkey King at this last pick of the first phase.
I wonder then, what could be looking like a Rubik +1 or just overall another kind of Enigma response in regards to the black hole then with another hero?
Yeah, Rubik, Silencer, Clockwork, those are the real 3 that I'm looking at. Okay, so this is interesting, and I want to see if it is actually like the Enchantress is laning into the Enigma. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but just with the changes to the Enchant and like getting bonus armor and extra damage, and now not having that at level 1, it's actually really significant, because previously you could like your one Eidolon could man fight the Enigmas too, but now I don't think you could do it anymore. So we'll see how the lanes end up facing off, because I'm really keen to see how it goes in a pro game.
And then Naga is a kind of interesting response as well, considering the Enigma can be flexed. We're well aware that, the lane matchup is quite nice if it is going to be a FBZ Enigma. The Naga is able to deal with the Eidolons and no concerns at all. But, this is kind of overall, I guess, if you look at the 2 heroes currently on Tundra, this is a strategy that they've implemented time and time again ever since their victory at TI. Just look to split up the map, shove as many waves in as you possibly can, play this kind of annoying style of Dota, and definitely the Enchantress and Naga fit that kind of mold.
Sure. I mean, the Enigma and the Timbersaw, though, give Secret plenty of late game. It gives them plenty of control in the laning stage, and it also gives them that flexibility that we're always talking about. FBZ Timber, it's something that's an absolute classic for him, but Armel has really started picking it up a whole lot more in recent times. Good way to be able to deal with the Naga Siren as well, with her high armor, with her high movement speed, and as well just a nice way to be able to clear out a lot of those illusions. So good pick by Team Secret.
Well, we kind of brought up the Rubik again, prior with the Enigma, now with the Timber as well. Feels like there's more value. Would you even be considering about a ban for Secret to remove it, or there's other things that you feel like need more priority?
I mean, I don't see a lot of Tundra supports playing the Rubik. I mean, if anything, it's actually 9 that plays like a mid Rubik a lot more often than any of the supports do. I know Sarks is able to do it, but he ain't here right now. So hopefully he's doing a little bit better. Yes. I know he's on public about some of the struggles that he's been having, but we all wish the best for him.
Yes, we do indeed. So hopefully he's able to make a speedy recovery for the boys, but hopefully he's there cheering, and I'm not quite sure like how much is being vocal with the team as well, just in the camp, or I know he's flown back, but just overall like calling and
I mean, you've got a UI there as well, right? I'm sure they're still chatting in Discord and that sort of thing, but if I'm Tundra, I'm probably not putting any sort of pressure onto the guy. Just let him have his break. They've been on top for so long, and sometimes people just need that little bit of a rest. So it's going to be a longer one for him as well. No tournaments between the Riyadh Masters and TI, so hopefully he's back and better than ever by that point. It really looks like they are choosing to get rid of some of those big counters to honestly both the Enigma and the Timbersaw, right? The Doom, of course, good way to be able to interrupt the black hole. I do wonder if they're just kind of trying to bait out a bit of a Rubik pick here to potentially maybe up the tempo, because Rubik Enchantress don't do the best at being able to like defend against an all-out sort of push, and that's something that an Enigma and a Timbersaw can certainly be part of.
So they can indeed. So
10 seconds remaining.
Trying to think of even another 33 hero that could be considered as well, like if you're not looking to try and continue banning supports, because currently that second phase has all been for 33.
Underlord, maybe. Nice lockdown for the Timbersaw, percent damage, deals with the Eidolon somewhat. Lets you slow the game down for an Naga Siren. All you really need is that control. to be able to enable someone like, even the Enchantress, right, to be right-clicking like a fiend. But it's AUI playing it most likely, so not sure if that's the avenue that they want to go down.
I feel like that's the only, whenever I've tuned into Tundra games, I feel like I've only seen AUI playing this Enchantress.
Yeah, it's like half of his games is Enchantress. There's a little bit of the Visage, there's a little bit of the Enigma, and there's a little bit of like Clock Lion Chen as well. What is this mid lane telling us?
Quad band's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it is a little bit of just straight up respect for Nine's Quap, but what other real mid laner are they wanting that's just want to get up in their face? Like, are they just looking to go for an Ember Spirit or something like that? Or for Armel? Of course, he plays it very well. Good way to be able to... They end up going for it. A good way to be able to deal damage to the Enchantress, regardless of Untouchable. Good way to clear out Naga illusions as well. And yes, you can outskill a Quap in the lane and make sure you're dodging out that Shadow Strike, but it just makes it a little bit easier.
10 seconds remaining.
Just something's telling me that this could be a mid Rubik,
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, there's always that potential, yeah, without a doubt. So you've got to be cautious how many good spells are available for Rubik to steal. Otherwise, it definitely could make that a possibility. Secret, they're going to go Coddle plus the Storm Spirit, so
okay,
it will reveal the Timber getting played in the off lane now.
Mm-hmm. You feel pretty happy with that, though, into the Naga Siren, right? Like, you just want to be able to have that Vanguard, have that reactive armor. You'll be having an Enchantress playing with you, but around the time that you're leaving the Timbersaw solo for an extended period of time, that's when Coddle Storm are going to be looking to wreak havoc. Maybe it's going to be coming towards the Timbers lane to just maybe make it a little bit more even, or it could be Storm rotating to the other side and forcing an Enchantress TP away. Does also mean that we're most likely going to be seeing a position 5 Enigma as well. Like we mentioned, the Naga Siren is generally a pretty good counter to it, so just look to avoid it in any way you can. That's why Secret go for this first pick overall, and you know what? I'm always happy to see a puppy Enigma.
Yes. I also hope Tundra reveal their mid lane now, just to keep the 33 hero open, just because, of course, you don't see the Chrysalis hero. So, let's see what the choice is. All right, we are... All right.
Let's go.
We are getting this hero pop up a little bit more so far throughout this tournament. In fact, there was a game going on. It was 9 Pandas versus Team Spirit on the break that I was watching, where I tabbed out. I must say, I closed the stream. I think it was like 25 minutes in that Pandas had like a 20k lead. They were at the front of the base
for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, they got mega creeps. I didn't even know. Yeah, so and then I'm like, hang on a second, I'm seeing the viewer count go up like 10 minutes later. I'm like, holy crap, this game's still going on. And somehow they lost. I didn't see the throw. I didn't see what happened, but that was with a Meepo. Of course, you've also said, JT's having some incredible performance on the Meepo, even into some really bad matchups. So this hero is coming. And I feel like everyone has to be very scared of their pubs, and hopefully it doesn't seem too strong.
I think this is just about how strong you want it to be, right? You want it to be coming out a few times in the group stage. You want it to be that response to something like a Storm Spirit that relies so much on the on his mobility, I guess, is the best way to put it, right? You can get on top of the Keeper of the Light. A lot of the times, the way that we see the Meepo being built is just that rush for the Aghanim Scepter to be a whole lot tankier, but you got to remember that you're going up against percentage damage from both the Midnight Pulse and some of the damage coming through from the Timber in terms of like the stats loss for the Whirling Death as well. So, I can certainly see it going both ways. I'm really struggling to wrap my head around like what position ones, other than the Sven that's been banned out, are going to be able to deal well with the Meepo and also lane together well with the Enigma.
So you're looking for some melee hero, maybe one that is a little bit more self-sufficient. I mean, I know offlane Enigma is a very strong laner, but I'm not quite sure how Poppy likes to play his Enigma in regards to if he's a bit more greedy in the jungle.
I'm also wondering if you can get away with something like a Drow as well. Like, yes, you're screwed if Meepo gets on top of you, but you've also got people that are going to be playing in front, and that multi-shot is going to be doing so much work to the Meepo. That Ransack just reducing the effectiveness of it as well, with the Aghanim Scepter that you can look to eventually go into. I could see it working.
Just concerned on how they can play the map though with a Drow. I feel like the lanes are always going to be shoved out and could be easy to find her in some of the fights.
whenever I see a Meepo as well, I always think, is it an Elder Titan game? But
Okay.
unfortunately not against an Enchantress. Come on, you should know. I occasionally get things right every now and then.
Very, yeah, good call. All right, well, what do they pick then? What is the secret
One
here?
and done. That was it.
One and
I only
done.
had one. That was my one
10
shining
seconds
moment.
remaining.
What can they pick?
5 seconds remaining.
It's just able to survive. Could they
Oh,
troll
I was gonna
forward or
say
something?
it. So I'm joking. I'm like, all right, so yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, it's probably one of the few carries that can also have a decent amount of AoE clear and also can match up pretty well versus the Naga as well. And you also don't see your off lane.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
General safe.
yes.
5
That's a big
seconds
thing.
remaining.
Do you just Underlord into this? Like, I know he can just spin out of everything, but I feel like you need to provide a little bit of extra lockdown for the Meepo. I think you need to not make space for him, but they have. I guess the Naga's going to be taking a lot of the farm across the map, right? So maybe you don't Underlord.
I think you need a harder stun because Meepo's going to go Atos and snare and then Naga within snare as well. And
Yeah.
like you just Lotus Orbs and you're fine.
They wouldn't offlane Bristle back, would they? Into the Enigma? Nah, I don't think so either. I just want to see the hero come back. You know, we're seeing all this Enigma and we're
Yeah.
seeing 0 Bristle.
I was actually going to suggest it with the Coddle pairing as well with AoE against Meepo and Naga, but
Oh, so it wasn't the Jug that you were going to mention.
no, I had a thought about the Bristle, but then I
Uh-huh.
didn't like it. So
A likely excuse.
come on now, come on, leave me alone. All right, what is our
Never.
33 here? There's not too many options left.
Can you just go like a direct counter, like a Slardar to the Juggernaut that we haven't really seen too much of?
Slaughter, that. I mean, sure, you are right. Like, yes, it blades very well as Jug, but Slaughter's
Those Eidolons are going to have a free time if they go Slardar. That's the other thing.
a no-go zone, my friend. That is almost a free win.
What do you do? Like, what?
I don't know.
Gyro? I don't know. Like, they need some AoE damage. They just go Visage. I mean, this is just classic
Yeah.
Tundra, but you're really not able to influence, like, this 5 Enigma is going to be very good for Team Secret, right? Like, the Rubik, the Visage, they cannot deal with that in lane at all. You're going to get a ton of farm for Chrysalis on his Juggernaut.
And
Amel Yumich, it's a good pairing together as well. And FBZ, we talked about the strengths of the Timbersaw already. And I mean, this might be the sort of game that you even go into a Crimson Guard, going up against a Visage and a Naga and all those Meepos.
And I know this is a game that haunts you as a C fan, but the I believe it was OG versus Fnatic at Stockholm Major, where it was Jabs playing the Visage into the Juggernaut lane, where he died like 5 times in the lane, some ridiculous number. And I feel like that is kind of a potential for this lane as well. I feel like there's a lot of kill threat. You know, like 2 points Blade Fury with I imagine Puppy's gonna. I wonder if he goes 2 points Malefice. Probably 1 point is just enough as well. This is not a lane where I can see 33 getting a whole lot of farm, and there's nothing really like the Rubik nor the Enchantress can do to stop that. You sometimes the Telekinesis is a nice defensive tool whenever people get aggressive on you in the lane. That's not going to stop the Juggernaut. So I think there is a lot of kill threat. I'd really like to see them start with the tri-lane regardless, like have Yamich down in the safe lane with a Blood Grenade and Blinding Light. That sounds like a free kill and onto the biggest level advantage that the Visage has at level 1. So if you can slow him down, then seems like Chrysalis should have a pretty good lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure if... I mean, sure, you can do it. I'm not sure if they need the Keeper of the Light to be able to make it happen. I honestly think Blood Grenade with Malefice and Spin might be enough to get it done, as long as Puppy just stays far enough away from the Enigma that he's able to get, like... from the Visage, so that he can't get a Grave Chill off onto him, to be able to just run away. So I'm also interested in seeing, like, what the skill build is on the Enigma, because we've seen, like, 2-0-1 builds on these position 5 Enigmas, just trying to harass a little bit more, enable a few of these kills. But I really feel like this lane, you want to at least get 1 point into the demonic conversion, just because they really don't have ways to be able to easily contest some of these last hits, as well as the Eidolons. So you may as well just make the most of what's strong in this lane.
All right, well, let's see what the build is going to be from Puppy. Let's see what the fate is going to be for us in game 1 as well. Like we were saying,
Prepare for
Group
battle.
A, that is all worked out in regards to, eliminated and and who's in the upper bracket. Well, I should say worked out on what the tiebreaker is going to be, but Group B,
Yeah.
we still do not know just yet. So still very important victories need to be claimed from either Tundra or Secret. And who do we feel like has that potential, though, to get it in this game one? Does the crazy Meepo lineup have what it takes, or do we feel like Secret have addressed it well enough in their draft?
I mean, 9 needs to pop off on his Meepo if they're going to have any sort of success here. Like, he really needs to be legit getting like solo kills onto Armel if they're going to stand any sort of chance. And probably not going to be able to do that. I mean, divided we stand. First time you can level up is 4, I believe. I mean, I'm not a Meepo player. I have 0 micro skills. Yeah, he really just needs to go crazy. And I feel like Armel, he's been performing at a really high level this tournament. So probably not going to allow that sort of thing to happen. Secret, it really feels like 4 at least meta heroes that they've been able to pick up. It gives them insane team fight. It gives them pretty good lanes. I'm feeling a little bit more confident in this Secret draft.
Is there an argument to be made for Chrysalis going the kind of old Juggernaut build that we saw, like
Maelstrom.
Yeah, Maelstrom,
Shard.
Agshard, and like with the left talents, the Blade Fury Radius and Blade Fury Duration. I'm well aware that right now, you know, the 20 talent with Blade Dance Lifesteal is a big reason why people are going for this hero. But Battle Fury can be a little bit slow, and potentially Tundra could come out of the gate storming with, you know, the fast pace from the Meepo, from the Visage as well, and the Enchantress on top of that. So, do we think this could be something that at least Chrysalis needs to consider?
I don't think you need to go the Shard and the Blade Dance talents. Oh, sorry, the Blade Fury talents. But I think you can just go the Maelstrom against this. You know, against illusions, it's going to be nice. It's still effective against a Meepo, of course. Even more damage instances to be able to break through the Gravekeeper's cloaks. Another nice way to be able to deal with the Enchantress as well. So I could see it working in that regard, but I don't think he needs to go, you know, full spin to win. I think you've got Juggernaut, you've got Timbersaw, you've got Keeper of the Light that are going to be able to do that sort of stuff.
Okay. No crazy shenanigans with an extra +1 starting in the safe lane. Yarman's going to join FBZ down bottom. See how these two are going to be able to go at it. Early level in the Blinding Light, of course, like we've seen, AUI as well. Often on the Enchantress is going for that Nature's Attendant, so should be able to be okay with the harass from the Coddle.
Yeah, I think he should be. I mean, you're one of the few heroes that match the Coddle in terms of supports for movement speed, so he's holding onto the Blood Grenade for now. Like you mentioned, Nature's Attendant's just enabling him to constantly be trading with slightly more armor, you know, better attack range, better attack animation, everything kind of going in AUI's favor. So it's just about making space for Skitter and hopefully slowing down the Vanguard for FBZ.
When you kind of look at Meepo players throughout the world, where would you maybe put 9 on the list?
Maybe like top 5, but I wouldn't put him at the very top. He's capable, but I've also seen instances early on when he was this Meepo-ish meta where he looked a little bit uncomfortable, but he's certainly grown into that as the weeks have gone on.
Ready to see top lane some aggression as well. Crystal's trying with the Blade Fury onto 33. Wasn't with the combination of the Malefisto, so it is nonetheless a decent chunk of harass onto the Visage. Snake King's doing a really good job, but also beating onto Chrysalis, and this should be our first blood.
Damn.
Very nicely done. They just see a slight opening there. Snake King was able to set that up, and first blood's actually found from Tundra.
Was not expecting that to happen. Just going a little bit too far forward. Ran out of regen. Didn't have a magic stick as well to be able to put himself back to safety. So Puppey, I mean, he's been doing the good start with the demonic conversion there to be able to, again, zone away from this entirely single target lane that Tundra are running, but what, they just didn't go for the Eidolons. They went for the Juggernaut instead. Much juicier.
And like yeah, it's another lane where the creep equilibrium is going to be incredibly important. You know, like we were bringing up with the Razor and with the OG game, and now with the Juggernaut as well for Crystals. You need kind of the full length to be able to chase people down with this Blade Fury. If you are too close to the tower, your options are very limited on when you're going to be able to play aggressive onto the Visage. So they've done a very good job so far from Tundra off the back of the kill to be able to make sure 33 is farming at least close to his own side.
They have, but they've somewhat fixed that right then with the way that Puppy and Chrysalis just played. Allowed them to get the healing Lotus. Puppy as well made sure to get the D-ward off on the small camp in time. And they body blocked up a hard camp. So making sure that they're in position to be able to stop Snaking from disrupting that sort of play. So things should start to equal out for them shortly, but really we're wanting to make the most of this early strength that you would say Secret has.
And I swear every game we cast of Secret, Yamich is finding Choreo snipes. I don't know how he does it. It's a Blade of Alacrity, I believe, from Skeeter that they were able to kill.
Just the
not Blade, sorry, band, sorry, yeah. I'm like, it didn't sound right when I was saying it.
You're not a farmer, you're an offlaner. Phase boots or arcade boots every game.
It's too much gold already for Mr. Skeeter, but yes, nonetheless, the band is, 6 damage is taken away? It's alright, I know that.
In yesterday.
Yeah, you didn't confirm it neither, I'm pretty sure. You
I did, I instantly told you what it was. Alright, Armel in the mid lane doing very well. He's 600 net worth ahead already on the old Storm Spirit, so yeah, it's pretty natural when you've only got one Meepo to make plays around with, so now with 9 being up onto that level 4, Divided We Stand, that I completely knew about, he's going to become a little bit easier for them. Doesn't seem like there's any stacks being built up just yet, and Secret know about this because of that really early Observer Ward that Yamich put towards the Radiant side of the map. And speaking of Yamich, he's going to make some more of their own stacks for them to be able to play around with. Of course, Timbersaw, very natural for him to be able to build into this, and AUI, he's just being annoying right now. Placing down a sentry, yoinking away one of the creeps that they were looking to be able to farm with. And yeah, he's just like, you know what, Naga, you're pretty safe in this lane right now. You're not going to be disrupted from farming. It's really, for the next 2 levels, you have free reign to solo this one.
Mid lane. And he's going to be able to get aggressive onto Armel pre-level 6. We'll force some TPs in. Very nice use of the Hurricane from AUI. Into that Armel. They might even be able to go for Yamich next as well, but the Blinding Light already used. AUI gets involved in 2 kills. They've got maybe a bit of an opening to get some damage into the tower as well with this catapult. It won't be anything crazy, but there'll be some nice chip damage off the back of those 2 kills. So Tundra off to a very good start. They enabled 33 not to be worried about this potential lane where he was going to be vulnerable. And then, of course, we know that the Naga Siren can be very self-sufficient.
It is incredibly rare that you see a Visage with this much net worth at 6 minutes into the game. Like, you pick this as a losing lane, essentially, because you know how strong the potential is for you to be able to, use that level 6, level 7 timings to be able to create a lot of havoc and start pushing in one of those side towers.
Well, this could be scary where the map just opens up at too fast of a rate, and Secret do kind of have a bit more of a greedier lineup where their playmaking is
still level 6.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna die again. Tries to time it perfectly to get rid of some of the proof damage. Nine is also gonna die as well. Okay, out of nowhere. This Meepo took probably a little bit more damage than what he was actually expecting with that dive under the tower.
I mean, the blinding light as well certainly helped with that. And AUI, so annoying. Just doing this constantly, up in their face. That Enchantress spam is working out for him. Looks like Yamich will be able to get back and secure the Wisdom Rune for them at least. But yeah, it's really just showing how much they're focusing on Armel and some of these timings, right? He doesn't have the TP for another 5 seconds, so he's having to take that whole walk of shame out to the lane. And Tundra are probably one of the best teams in the entire DPC system at being able to abuse these little windows, right? Armel, he's got his level 6 now, so I'm expecting to see them play a whole lot more away from this, maybe take up a little bit more of their own stacks, which they've started to build up inside of their own triangle area. Some early drums.
And
the level 6, what timing.
Yeah, I mean, it's also going to be a super early level 6 from Snaking too, and we spoke about there's some pretty decent abilities for him to steal this game, so that could maybe help out with this early push if they're lacking some damage or lacking some spells. When do we actually want to see them maybe look to, they've been very aggressive with kills around the mid lane, but when do we want to see them try and convert that into an objective on Tundra?
probably around now, to be honest, around this top lane. You know, maybe you want to just take this stack really quickly on the Meepo, get into your Atos, which you should be enabled to do. But right now it feels like they can't make any plays towards the bottom side of the map. They're kind of pinging FBZ right now, so maybe they feel like they can, but man's got Vanguard, and more importantly, he's got Yamich playing around it.
Even have the potential of Armel to move down if required.
Kill onto AUI would be nice, but they don't want to overextend. They know that they've had a missing Meepo for quite some time.
And a lot of their vision currently, well, their only ward is kind of defensive inside the river, so doesn't help.
It's just taking top for free.
Okay.
Using that early drums, using the familiars, using a creep wave, using the fact that Crystallis has been bullied out of the lane so early on into the piece. Even just making sure that the familiars aren't taking unnecessary damage by those small little micros, stopping them from attacking for a split second so that it goes onto the creep wave instead. So 33 with this last pick Visage really showing why he is one of the better offlaners in the world.
And like we said, with this more slightly greedy draft from Secret, if you're going to lose some towers early on, it can be very difficult for you to set up a format on the map where everyone is able to find the farm they need this game to shine.
Tundra, they're going to get this farm 9. He should have the Atos very shortly, just 200 gold away. A gigantic ancient stack for him to be able to take. I'm not sure if he can do this solo. Need some boys to help him out.
Wow, that Hoof did way more damage than I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting Ancient's magic resist to be able to be a little bit stronger.
I'm missing something? It's only 100 damage as well.
Oh, pure damage from Poof.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Top side, they're really not wanting to let 33 get away with much more of this. Puppy with his level 6, maybe thinking that they can go for a kill, but you got to make sure you're landing it onto this Rubik. He's level 6 too, so right now they're just annoying right now. And classic Tundra things. You know, it's oh, Restless. Should be okay.
They want to go though. It's only 2 heroes on Tundra. Pretty nice micro from 33 with a familiar drop. Means he will get out of danger. They want to turn to the summons instead. They won't even get them, so it's 4 heroes top on Secret.
4 heroes top. We also know that 33 and Snake King are up here. So I wonder if, I was about to say if FBZ plays a little bit more aggressively around this creep wave, but 9, he's ahead of the game, wanting to make sure that he disrupts that creep wave down there, doesn't let the siege creep hit into the tower, and they're just going to maintain a lot of their own map. And Skitter, he's a fantastic Naga Siren player, so he has just been farming away without a care in the world for the past 7 minutes or so.
Really do wonder though when they're going to start to bring more heroes to the mid lane to potentially get this objective. I thought it was going to be the Atos on Meepo. Did just hit level 10. Maybe that's something they were waiting for as AUI. Someone's going to be able to zip over the top. Should be able to get the kill nonetheless with FBZ nearby, but Tundra also can bring some of their resources down to take the fight. The double control coming through from the Earthbind, but they're going to be lacking some of the damage. Snake King just spins through.
I've really been liking Yamich's positioning so far. I mean, when that first death went over for the Storm Spirit, there wasn't too much he could do about it. He just had the 1 point in the Blinding Lights, so the cast range, very, very small, just the 400. And of course, you want to make sure you're maxing out that Chakra Magic, because that's why you pick this combination together with the Storm. But yeah, since then, he's always been there to be able to react with that Blinding Light, with that fast movement speed, to make sure that ML, his game isn't gimped too much further, and really feel like with this Witchblade, they're going to be wanting to make some of those kills start to happen. Already a little bit of the way towards that Aghanim Scepter for Meepo. 1 component in.
What would you say is kind of the core item build that we often see on the Meepos as well, regardless of kind of the position?
Atos Axe Blink is still the absolute go-to that they're looking to try and achieve, as, well, poor Puppy looks like he's just going to be the target of a couple of squads alone.
Instant Atos, that's not the fight that Armel wants to show up to. Now Crystallis, what's going to stop them from diving on a tier 2 tower? He can use the Omni Slash, but that will just buy it a couple of seconds of time, and they'll still kill him nonetheless. There's a dive from Tundra. Pays off perfectly.
They don't have any vision inside of the secret ancient camp area, but they should probably know that, you know what, if Vipo hasn't been showing on the map for quite some time, if Timbersaw isn't shoving in that bottom lane, he's taking ancients. And if you're doing that, you're spending a lot of mana, you're spending a lot of HP, and it enables you to go for those sorts of dives, because he's not going to want to TP there on like 20% HP and mana, especially as he needs to get in towards that Octarine core ASAP. But the fact that Tundra have been able to read these little sorts of movements means that they've still retained all of their tier 1 towers. And while all this is going on, Skidder 0-0-0. This is the exact sort of game that he wants. He's just farming away, complete farm fest, and he's not even into his Manta style yet. As soon as that gets picked up, it's just going to be all systems go for the net worth, and look to see him spike it away.
Speaking about Epis here really quick as well, are we expecting this to be an Octarine into Crimson? Because it looks like a hell of a Crimson game.
Yeah, I was mentioning it during the draft, like against a Meepo, against a Naga, against a Visage. It's so effective at reducing a lot of the damage and really the strong points of this Meepo.
Oh, this could be a big kill. 1-9. They might be lacking the stuns though, and yeah, he's out. All right, never mind.
Needed Puppey there, but he was focused on taking towers. I understand it's important to be able to get a kill onto the Meepo, but it is even more important, I would say, just to open up this map a little bit so that you have a little bit more space to be able to farm with. You can't always rely on going back towards these like more passive ancient camp areas. So I like the fact that Puppey made sure to commit onto that. Sure, it would have been great to have the Malefice and the Black Hole to be able to get that kill, but you know, a Puppey, he needs to see his cores farming, not just constantly diving for kills.
I guess the big concern now is that Roche is going to move to the top side of the map, and this is where Tundra have firm control. So are we expecting them? I mean, you're even beating onto a tier 2 tower with all your summons, but can Tundra just instantly consider about Roche as soon as it's there, or is there something else they're potentially waiting for? Like it may be Scepter, but can you even take it without Scepter on 9?
Oh, absolutely, you can take it without it. You know, that just really provides them with a little bit more survivability. I think maybe what they were maybe hoping for, I was about to say a Solar Crest, but no one's going for it.
Alright, Skidder Song. Try and step on out, and we'll be able to do so. The rest of the team kind of has to leave this side of the map, though. They've got very good wards set up, so we'll be well aware of Secret starting to move on over to defend the tower, but it's going to go down regardless, and Tundra, they actually feel strong enough to take the fight. They're going to try and poke down Timber, who is pretty taken with the help of the Octarine, so maybe they'll turn to AUI instead, as yep, 9, he's also TPing out as well, so Tundra, they see all the heroes up top from Secret, and they want nothing to do with a further fight. They'll just cut their losses with the Enchantress, and they're probably happy with that. You get a T2 tower, meanwhile all the other lanes are getting shoved out.
I mean, you called it, right? Like, they've got insane vision set up, so as soon as the Naga sound revealed at bottom, Secret did exactly what they should have done, right? They made a play, they knew there was no way for Skidder to be able to connect through to the rest of the team. Sure, he's going to be farming, but you would think that with a 5v4 advantage, they're going to be able to just roll them over, maybe even take the tier 1 tower and get some valuable kills and kill streaks away from Tundra Esports, but nope, they just read it all because of the ward setup, and you only end up losing an Enchantress, which takes them a pretty damn long time to be able to do.
Radiant are scanning.
Puppey's just inching closer to that first black hole of the game. Run into 33.
I think you have to catch snaking.
And yeah, if you don't, he's going to be able to steal some of the spells and turn it back around. As now with 9 showing up, they've got the control to the Storm Spirit and they've got the damage as well. Oh, no. Tundra, 6,000 net worth lead. Any play that Secret tried to make is instantly thwarted.
They even get rid of the freaking Observer Ward that they were able to play around with up here, and maybe they just push in one more wave and then just look to go back towards that Roche pit. It's like 9 is moving up towards that area as well, although he might be looking to scout for a kill towards Crystallis. Just to have to constantly spin TP away really does a lot to imp your net worth and your item progression. He has gone into the Battle Fury instead of that Maelstrom, so actually feel like they need to take a full-on fight, it seems.
They just... Oh man, they instantly lost that ward on the cliff and Puppey replaces another one, so their map is shrinking, their vision getting cut away. Lead is continuing to grow. You've got... It's felt like for a majority of the game, Snaking's been playing with the Eidolons stolen, so he's been actually finding a decent chunk of farm. We know the Enchantress can. AUI is going to be building into a pipe, which enables 33 to go for some different items.
We know that Tundra are the Aura's team, right?
Yes.
Like you've got Pipe being picked up by your position 5. Your position 3 has got Drums and Greaves. He's going into the boots of Bearing himself. So even though Visage is flying, they're going to give him a couple of pairs of shoes to be able to play around with. And yeah, beyond that, it just feels like they're playing, I would say, one of the cleanest games of Dota that we've seen throughout this entire tournament, with exception to the one that we did just see with GG versus OG Game 2.
And what an important time for Tundra to be playing like this, though, considering still that tournament lives are at stake. You know, with a couple wins, you could be fighting for that tiebreakers to still stick around in the lower bracket. So, time to be looking as good as they are. FBZ going to be in some danger with the Orchid reveal onto Skeeter. He's pretty close to the T2 tower, so the TP should come in fast enough to protect him. We see how much damage they're really able to do onto FBZ, though.
I mean, it's the power of the Midnight Pulse being stolen, right? Up against the Timbersaw. Doesn't matter if you go into any sort of BKBs, it's still going to pierce through with all that magic damage.
Armel's going to take in. I'll definitely kill Yarmich. Now Armel's going to be cautious because he's out of mana, and 9 instantly pounces over the top with the blink. Seems like there's no response from Secret. What are they going to be able to do?
It really does feel like if just Snaking dies, Secret are going to feel so much more confident to be able to go for a lot of these kills, but he's just never putting himself into that sort of position. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, Snaking, he's moved from 4 to 4, he's at 5, but he was playing 4 with Tundra for a while when they were playing with Farta. He is no stranger to this role, and he is playing a perfect moving game so far.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
2-1 and 8. They've been involved
Get
in
even stronger. They've got the pipe there, balling up around this this Tormentor as well, looking to give themselves even more of that just overwhelmed potential. You know, a second enchant creep to be able to play with. Also got potentially the Proving Shard looking to come through, so an extra level of save from everything else that they've already got.
And they're even going to go for the other one, it looks like. 9 instantly TPs their own Tormentor, so I guess you do have Wisdom Rune that he probably is wanting to grab pretty shortly.
I think if you looked at like Tundra's flowchart of how they wanted to play this game, every single box would be ticked with this, right? Like even just this little play that they're doing here, taking the tier 2 tower right before the 21-minute mark. I reckon AUI might stick around just to be able to yoink away that Wisdom Rune, and they're picking Roche already. So just saying, hey, come back to our side of the map. We're going to look to take another Tormentor. We're going to feel incredibly strong for this next fight, and then that's all she.
Radiant are scanning.
One thing I will note, though, the supports are probably the ones that it's a little bit less pronounced on. But the cores, in terms of levels, they're even-ish, you know? Like, Armel's fallen a little bit behind off the back of a few of those kills, and, well, he did try and hang around and get the Wisdom Rune, but FBZ gets a very valuable kill. Still will result in Roche going over to Tundra. But this is the thing that happens when you're playing with a Meepo and a Nagasaurus, right? There's only so much farm around the map. You mentioned Snaking looking to get a lot of that farm himself off the back of the Eidolons, off pushing waves in with Midnight Pulse and Faithful. So you can end up falling, not behind, but, you know, even with such a dominant lead as this, you should maybe be okay,
TP, it's on cooldown. Amo's gonna try and maybe buy a little bit of time. Puppy's wraparound is interesting. This angle they're gonna try and take, but as soon as they get a couple of stuns out, this fight's getting more awkward. 9's got the Aegis as well, so you need to target everyone else but the Meepo. But it's just taking them too long to be able to land some of their spells. As 33 in some danger. Is going to be protected thanks to the song from Skeeter. Sleeping up Secret and giving them an opportunity to re-evaluate how they want to take the team fight, and perfectly sets up for 9's Earthbound. It even clips onto FBZ as well as Tundra. They are on another one in this game 1.
I want to look over some of that damage done towards the later part of that team fight, because Snaking had the Chakram stolen as well, so that's a nice way to be able to just absolutely rip through a Timbersaw. That tanky boy can feel a lot less so, and yeah, ended up popping the damage, I believe, for Tundra that fight. Look at all the damage that Secret did, but it just doesn't matter. This is exactly what Tundra did when they won TI, right? They said, you can throw all the damage at us you want. We've got Wraithpack, we've got Pipe, we've got Reeves, we've got Drums, we've got everything to be able to withstand all of that.
Oh, poor Yarmich.
Do have 2 Lotus Orbs now, though, on Secret, so way to be able to get out of the Earth Vines, which is nice. Way to be able to dodge at least a little bit of the telekinesis. Snaking has to die, man. I don't know how many times I need to just say it repeatedly, but he is just stopping Puppey from being able to use that black hole at all.
Yeah, we haven't seen a black hole this game, right? So,
Nope.
I mean, we may not get one, honestly, with the status of this game. The high ground push and a very difficult defense from Secret.
Anyone that gets going on as like single target has been like, I'm talking 9 hit. I just saw about 50 million skeletons that they were looking to play around with, but they get wiped out pretty quickly. I wonder if they just layer the chakra on top of these familiars to try and take them out and slow down the push a little bit. Able to get away.
They might just jump Armel. They could probably go past the Timber. And yeah, they're gonna do just that. Oh, I don't know if you can position there with the heroes they currently have, and now they're gonna go for FBZ. He's able to get the chain back to safety. Almost dies to the impetus. They can continue the hunt. Look at the constant round of stuns and control.
About to die.
Yeah, but Armel had to buy back for that though. So Tundra, I don't even know if they care. You'll probably reset. 33 doesn't even want to. Sense of Familiar's in, pops the glyph.
Mel, he's just hanging around. He doesn't have full mana to be able to make a full-on zip play with. Looks like they're going to need to. Like, Rubik being dead means that this Timbersaw is a lot stronger than it previously was with all those chakras.
Oh, he's in again.
He is.
Yamich, another round of the ensnare.
You have to.
It's all up to FBZ. It's a decent chunk of damage, but there's the Mega Meepo instantly. All of a sudden, he's got more than enough health to play with. Yeah, I mean, Skeeter's even got a heart as well, so he's also pretty unkillable and full
What
setup.
else has he got? He's got the Dragon Scale, so...
oh, yuck.
Yeah, these towers are going to just start slowly melting.
Oh,
You love it. Very balanced. Hopefully that's part of 7.34. Illusions don't get full benefit out of it or something. It's taking away all of Crystallis's farm as well. What's the win prob? 7%. That feels entirely on a Puppey black hole to me, just for them to be able to even begin to come back into this game. They've got another minute left with this Meepo on the Aegis. Well, 17 going into the Scythe of Vice, so they're already having so much difficulty on poor Armel to be able to make an impact in a lot of these fights. It's just going to be impossible at that stage.
Even sees net worth. Jesus Christ. Naga Illusions just running the supports. They're going to take an interesting angle to the fight, but... what just happened? Buffy, we're going to try and buy back. Armo wants to try and create some chaos as well. That's a triple familiar stun. Instant dieback out of Puppey. Just get out.
That's
get out of this game. Try and go into game 2 with a different strategy, because Tundra just wiped the floor. There were almost never even a hope of Secret being able to take this game with how incredibly dominant Tundra looked.
Everything that they did was perfect that game. Like this is the time I was expecting. You know, we're going into this Tundra that's like 3 wins up until this point. Secret are not a bad team. They 2-0'd BB team, right? Like they have just been putting pretty solid performance in throughout this group stage. But I mean, this is what I've been wanting to see and expecting to see. And honestly, even from Gaming Gladiators earlier today, like teams just forget how to play Dota, and they finally woke up on this last day when they were like, wait a minute, we could get knocked out potentially.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, well, what a time to work things out though. I mean, you still got to get this last victory though for Tundra. That is really the ultimate thing.
Yep.
Like, I mean, well, what happens now? You're 4 and
You're tied
4
with
and 9
and
TSM, who
have hard
both
opponents,
have, yes, exactly right.
You want to have the chance to just not have to play tiebreakers, you know?
So, well, I guess then, yeah, so a 2-0 means that they won't have to. I mean, and then Secret, they could be potentially playing tiebreakers for relegation. So, just regardless, you know, there's a lot of permutations. Both sides have to win next game.
Yep.
And Tundra are going to have so much momentum heading into that game, because it seemed like it was just an outclass from start to finish.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting to see the 9 mid Meepo go quite so well, getting a few of those early kills in onto Armel with it not being expected. And we really didn't feel the effect of that Juggernaut, right? I feel like something as little as just a couple of creep camps being blocked or not blocked allowed the creep wave to be so much closer towards Tundra's side of the map, and it meant that you never were really in danger of making the most out of this lane because Maleficus into the spin, it's a lot of damage into 33, but giving up that first blood, giving 33, did he? No, he wasn't quite topping the net worth, but he was damn close to it at the end of that game, which is so incredibly rare for a Visage and well worth a last pick for him.
Yes, and I mean, of course, that first blood really, another time we see first blood in a lane that you'd say is favored for the opposition, is able to turn it around and make it much more bearable. So we'll see. We'll see what Secret are going to be able to do. Of course, it's not the end of the world just yet. Their fate is still in their hands, but we need to get a different performance out of Secret, and we have seen that so far. Like you said, they got the 2-0 over a BB team. That day as well, they got another 2-0 over TSM, I think it was. So they've we have seen they have had success so far at the Riyadh Masters. They need to go back to what works for them, and we'll find out. We'll see what the answers are going to be to all our questions, because so far a lot is on the line. But who comes out on top, we'll find out after the break.
مستمتع وتلاقي الوجبة جاية على الأصول يجيك العيش هش طالع من الأوفن والدجاج يقرمش just the way I love it وتسوي كده وتسوي كده وتسوي كده مع الحشمة وإنت تبغى راب خفيف أجيب تويستر أنا أجيب لي وجبة الزنجر بس كله يجيب اكسترا تشيز على الكرانشي تشيكن في السنتر حطلب باكت حطلب زنجر حطلب مايتي حطلب تويستر جيب له باكت جيب له زنجر جيب له الأصلي جيب له تويستر delicious yeah
we are back for the last game of the group stages, potentially for these two teams as well. It all comes down to who is able to come out on top. In the break, we were able to get confirmation on the upper bracket for Group B, so all those 4 slots are determined. Got BB Team, Talon, Asta, and Liquid confirming themselves in the upper bracket, but everything under that is still yet to be worked out still. So Secret, Shopify, TSM, and Tundra. 4 teams who we don't know who's going to be placed in the low bracket or eliminated as well.
We could still technically get a 4-way tiebreaker for that.
Ooh.
It's going to rely on Shopify and TSM to 1-1 both of their series. But if Tundra take this second game, then we're going to have 4 teams stuck on 5 and 7, which should be 5 and 7. That doesn't add up. 5 and 9, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We have to wait until after it's on. We'll have a little bit more information once we're completely finished up as we get into this draft. The potential last draft, like you mentioned, with another Batrider ban, completely expected, and Team Secret looking to just get rid of that Naga Siren. I don't think that was the biggest issue for them, but there were some things that just really didn't go in their favor. I don't think they made the most out of the safe lane. I think AUI played a fantastic game on that Enchantress, so just take away his bread and butter. You know, it's like these people that have had a hero puddle that aren't playing quite as much Dota at the very highest level need to stand in, for crying out loud, so just take away what he's most comfortable with.
10 seconds remaining.
So what does that change though in regards to the bans? What it was Snap and Panger in the previous game for Secret and Tundra. It is
They're just saying, you know what, if they can pick a freaking Meepo, then I don't think we want to focus on 9-0s.
Yeah, yes indeed, by the looks of it. Only difference from Tundra is the Bloodseeker, well, the Monkey King ban instead of Bloodseeker. What do you feel like, is that potentially that they're looking to pick something that maybe the Monkey King would have addressed a little bit more compared to the Bloodseeker? Like, what do we make of that?
Lesh, maybe?
Okay.
See some Razor come out as well. It is certainly a possibility. I mean, it's mostly been 9 playing the Razor as well, and Skidder can play it, 33 can play it, but I wouldn't want to see 33 on a Razor. You know, I want to see him on these big team fight, playmaking style heroes. We saw the effectiveness of the micro coming through with the Visage Familiars that time around. And they're going to go back for the Enigma. I still don't hate this for Secret. I think it's fine enough to be able to pick it up, but you got to make sure that you ban out some of those bigger counters to it. Honestly, I wouldn't even hate if Tundra went for a Rubik now, just so that it's not banned out. But you know what? If you have the opportunity to pick like a busted duo like IO Lesh, you should go ahead and do it, because you might be able to survive even through a black hole. So we'll see what they go. Okay, the Snapfire instead. Disgusting. What do we see? Spirit Breaker to me is the one that stands out. Good laner with the Enigma. You can then make this Enigma a core, which obviously is very good if you're wanting to run this Broodmother as a 1, which, I mean, Skitter's done it a little bit. It's obviously much more of a 33 style of hero, but again, you could just run the SB as a 5 as well if that was the case, and maybe pick up, I don't know, a Tiny or something like that for Yamich to be able to play with the Enigma. But you just got to have a way to be able to get on top of these heroes. Obviously, the Boundless Strike would have cancelled the Kisses, gives you a little bit more of that ability to just, find. But maybe they just Bloodseeker, against the Broodmother. It feels pretty fine to me.
I mean, you could also Storm potentially here, but I guess then you're not going to be able to pair it with some of the amplifiers. The reason I brought it up is because the Broodmother matchup, and I think it's nice to be able to catch the Snapfire. But of course, there is our Bloodseeker. So, classic, nothing really too crazy up from Secret. Very, very comfort heroes for them.
For sure. Obviously, Shadow Demon very effective against the Bloodseeker because of that Demonic Purge. Also a nice way to be able to build up a lot of stacks for a Snapfire to be able to take and accelerate the net worth and, more importantly, the levels. I haven't seen 9 play the Snap. I'm not sure if he's one of those ones that builds into the Midas on the Snap. I've seen it on one pro player that's just completely slipping my mind right now. But I mean, in this tournament,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're going to go down, because I think Midas is just going a little bit too greedy, especially if you want to run this Broodmother as a 3, which Tundra are a little bit more they're a little bit more like to do, just because again it's 33, right? Here's the reason why they changed that little mechanic with like how exactly you can micro all the spiderlings, because he was just broken. It was like map hacks. You had vision of the entire map.
Like the Primal Beast band, of course, it has been a staple for Secret, and very similar to what I was asking with the Storm Spirit. The Primal Beast is just able to get on top of the Broodmother with ease. So see what else needs to be considered. I mean, also now, like we were kind of bringing up in the previous game, you also brought it up before, the Rubik into the Enigma. You're potentially looking at, I don't know if there's like a silencer can fit in. That is a good classic counter to the Enigma as well with the global silence. So it is
sure, but at least we'll see global black holes being cast as a result of that, right? Rubik actually prevents you from casting them altogether because you're providing so much extra strength to the enemy team. If you're popping a global silence to stop a black hole, maybe that opens up an avenue for the rest of the team to be able to play around with. And I mean, who knows? Maybe it's still going to be an Enigma 5. Enigma Bloodseeker could be a possibility, especially if Tundra were wanting to run this Broodmother as off lane. Of course, Enigma is always good against any sort of melee core that's trying to pick up the farm, just because it's hard to deal with the Eidolons.
I mean, sounds like another strong lane, just Malithus Blood Grenade. I don't know. Sounds kind of no
It should
fun.
have been strong in the last game,
Yes,
I thought. But,
yes, it should have.
Didn't end up working out for him, unfortunately. I still see the Spirit Breaker in this draft, and I feel like they can... Well, I guess they would have to pick 2 heroes back-to-back, right? But you don't necessarily need to give up a lane entirely. You can like Spirit Breaker, which can be 3-4-5. The Enigma can still maintain being 3-4-5. And then maybe you go for... I guess it depends on what Tundra pick. You're much more likely to pick AUI's hero next, which... What's he been playing? He's been playing the Visage, he's been playing the Enchantress, of course. Clockwork, Lion, Chen, AA. Other options for him. What would I feel most comfortable with?
Clock's fine. I don't mind the clock.
Yeah, Clock against the Enigma feels pretty good. Again, Silencer, like you said. Yeah, good way to set up for the Snap Kisses. Even just the Battery Assault against the Eidolons isn't the worst at being able to deal with them in lane if it is going to be like off-lane Enigma or pos 4 Enigma.
Of course, Hookshot vs Bloodseeker is kind of nice as well. So yeah, they will go Chen route though for Tundra. So
it's about making space, right? Like you can get away with both this Brood and Snapfire being greedier. I would think that maybe the Brood still wants to be a 1 in this game, just because I think you do need someone to be able to make plays with. I guess Skitter can go something like a CK for that, but you're not really wanting to, like you think they've played it once and it got absolutely dumpstered in this tournament, and you can just look to run the, okay, Venomancer, huh? I guess it does fulfill that same sort of role where it doesn't give away everything, It might make that the trading in what they're expecting to potentially be a Broodmother lane a little bit easier, just because you can slow as soon as he pops the Insatiable Hunger. You're not like actively looking for kills, but as soon as Broodmother's trying to like make an aggressive play or look to regen some of the HP that you're slowly chipping down in the lane, that's when you use the Gale. That's when you look to try and just kite her away. You might even use like an aggressive glyph to prevent the Broodmother from getting into the HP back.
I would kind of prefer this to be Yarmich Veno. Do you...
Don't know exactly what they're going to do, right? Like, I think it's fine enough as a 5. Like, what do they pick with it? I'm still on the Spirit Breaker train, man. Like, it's good against Snapfire, it's good against Broodmother. The only thing is you run the risk that they're just going to say and like an Underlord as the 3, which is just going to stop you in your tracks. You could really reduce the effectiveness of that. You get good clear and good ability to be able to just stay away from the Venomancer, which would cause some issues. Of course, we've mentioned before at how good Tundra are at playing the map. You already have a Chen for that, you have a Broodmother for that, and then you would have the Dark Rift as well at your disposal.
Tundra Esports turn to Templar Assassin.
Okay. LTA, huh? What is 9?
I wonder if...
It is one of the better Snapfire matchups. Basically the only one that's like kind of favorable for the person that's against the Snapfire, just because you can change things up. and you know, Scatterblast, Cookie, all that sort of stuff isn't really going to hinder a lot of your farm. And for right now, like AUI is going to need to play not necessarily as aggressively on the lane, but
Oh, come on. I don't want my last game to be fucking Arc Warden.
well, it is.
What are they doing?
Let's go something a little bit different. I mean, have you seen any Arc Warden in this tournament so far? Because I haven't.
I don't care.
I do care. I love seeing new stuff, shiny and new. Give me the Arc Warden, baby. The Zet likes this.
5 seconds remaining.
So I wonder if it's now like a 4 Snapfire, a mid Arc Warden against the TA, just so you can have that flux for the lane, and you know, you can be a little bit more like gank heavy towards the TA because you've got a Snapfire for it, you've got a Chen for it, and you know, this is right now. Secret's draft doesn't do anything. You know, like they farm very well, they're going to be strong in the late game, but they don't do anything right now. Whereas if the Chen is able to make those rotations and get a lot of kills happening, you can still swarm over and take some towers and take some objectives. Like Broodmother, kind of a hero that doesn't do anything, but Arc Warden, despite how good you are at being able to scale into the later stages, you can get quite active pretty early on. It is a dire Arc Warden, so you have to remember that you will have the Tempest version of a lot of the spells. So regardless of... well, I wonder if it's then like a 1 Arc Warden, because most of the time that we see the dire Arc Wardens, it's like a 1-4-1 build that they go, just because the dire side gets such good value out of the magnetic field that you just are able to spam and have an insane amount of right-click potential. But really prevents like the same gank output that you might have wanted as playing on the Radiant side.
What are they thinking with this Tiny? Because I thought they were looking for the FBZ here. Like I was going to suggest the Mars. Where would the Tiny fit into
Tiny
the
Enigma
draft?
is just an incredibly strong lane. So I think that's what they're really thinking about. And then
okay.
5.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Any other repositions don't really exist as a support, so I think it's feels fine to me. They do end up getting rid of that CK. Wow, okay. Just, I suppose... It does give them another hero that does something. You know, that's the big thing for mine. And I feel like Secret are just wanting to slow this game down as much as they can. So if they do run... I wonder where the Enigma is being played and what position 4 you can possibly put, or even a 5, that is going to slow down this game. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Wyvern is where Team Secret want to finish this one up. It's good against the Broodmother just to catch all of the spiders. It's good against a Chen army. You've got a lot of physical damage that you're going to be coming up against with an Arc Warden that's split. And even if the Snapfire is a core, it's probably not, but even if it is, you're going to be able to negate a lot of that damage.
There's that Spirit Breaker ban like you've been asking for, so...
Good bans all throughout by Tundra.
If Tundra do want to continue down this route of like kind of the Chaos Knight theme hero, I mean, maybe you could think about like a Wraith King as well for Skeeter. Think just
but you get kited so heavily by Veno, and then you just put the Enigma in the off lane.
Does it matter?
Like,
you have Arc Warden. You think? Don't you just like want to get kited and just be a stunning hero and making space for the Arc?
Tundra Esports.
I think that'd dent Skitter's confidence, to be honest.
Oh,
Booty Hunter, huh?
This could also be a 4 bounty. I know Eastern European really like to play it in that role, and of course Yarmage being from there, so we don't particularly know where this is going.
I mean, I think you're okay with going a ranged hero now still, to be able to finish things off. Like, you don't want to go a melee hero into a lane that's just going to get yoinked over and over again. So...
Razor's potential.
Yeah, I wouldn't... I mean, against the Bloodseeker, though, it feels a little awkward.
You have value versus TA as well.
You do. Thinking what else they could potentially consider. Anyone that likes buying a halberd, I really wouldn't hate to see. They are lacking a little bit of stuns, so I feel like the Enigma is going to have a much easier time this time around.
Yes.
So maybe something that's going to provide a little bit in regards to that. So, yeah, Wraith King stuff really doesn't work as much anymore, I guess.
Well, like you just said with the Enigma, do you then put it as a 3? Run the Veno support, run the bounty 4, Enigma offlane if you feel like, you know, this is definitely a better Enigma game than last and you want to give him farm priority?
I wonder if they can even Medusa on Tundra. Like, if Secret's draft does nothing, then you can get away with something that's able to potentially clear Eidolons and have a Chen play aggressively for you and still be scary with an Arc Warden and a Broodmother.
I like that call.
They can make it work. Another heavy farmer feels fine enough.
You potentially you're looking at like Secret. How do you deal with the summons on the Terrorblade? Venno as a support. I mean, even as a core, he's not going to be able to. Bounty's not going to be able to. And like, who actually deals with the Terrorblade illusions? You've got that. You got the Broodmother summons. You got the Chen creeps. You got the Arc Warden Tempest double. Maybe I also like the Deucer, but maybe they feel like just with how they're going to be able to play the map with the Terrorblade on top of everything they already have, it could just be a little bit frustrating for Secret. Do you kind of see that as well?
I can see it for sure. I think they also just wanted something that into what they expected to be a Yamich bounty hunter. They wanted something that was that range melee hybrid. And even if you're melee, like you're dealing a lot of damage and you've got a crap ton of armor, so the bounty really isn't going to be able to do too much against you. Also, they're already feeling confident with AUI playing his Chen. Obviously it's something that he just spams in his pub. And yeah, plenty of magic damage to be able to deal with this BH. Even just the slows are going to be very effective against it. So I'm always a fan of like a really greedy draft, but it needs to be a really greedy draft that is a counter to another greedy draft where you just feel like you have the better answers to it. And like we were mentioning, Secret's draft really doesn't do much of anything. This bounty hunter, we've been talking about how it's good at being able to, nullify a lot of effectiveness, but unless you're getting your levels and unless you're actually getting a lot of track kills, which I would say Bloodseeker and TA aren't really the best heroes at being able to enable that in the really early stages. They need their farm. Then you're not quite seeing the same level of effectiveness. So I honestly think Tundra can take this one 2-0.
Yes, I think so as well. I will say I feel like there's a potential for Chrysalis to do some crazy things this game on his Bloodseeker. He's got some pretty good matchups. Some matchups that can also be a little bit difficult depending on what the itemization is going to be for him. But if anyone's going to be able to get the boys over the finish line on a hero like this, I think definitely is Chrysalis. So we'll see. Like I said, I think the really matchup in particular that's tricky can be the Terrorblade. You're kind of forced to go for something like a Basher if you need to man fight him, which then can slow down like the Scepter and the Shard and maybe some of the other items that is required out of you as well. But I think eventually you're going to need a Swift Blink in there somewhere to get on the Arc Warden. But like I said, I think if anyone's going to be able to do it, it can be Chrysalis. Is it going to get to that stage though? Because Tundra, they have a pretty filthy draft, and they looked very good with another filthy draft in game one. So we shall see. We shall see. A loss here for Secret means that
they're tied with Tundra if that happens. We don't know the result yet of TSM and Shopify's games. They could still just both lose, and we see both Tundra and Secret move forward, and Shopify and TSM eliminated, and we would have 0 NA team representation in the playoffs.
Just to, I guess, a bit of an update, TSM lost game 1 versus Bet Boom, and Asta Shopify, I do not know, that one is still going on, at least regards to Liquipedia. So that means Tundra and TSM have the same score count at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let us see.
We came into today thinking that those could both be 2-0s for Asta and BB team.
Yes. All attention needs to go over to this final game here. Tundra against Secret. We'll see what they're going to be able to do to get themselves over the finish line. How much is he? He's in a both standing on the bounty. Does he get it? Unlucky.
Not quite. So one other thing, you were mentioning before that Chrysalis needs to pop off. I feel like you also need to consider FBZ. This is the game where you want to say, you know what, this is the reason that you picked me up. I am a very versatile player on a wide range of heroes, but, a Black Hole is going to go a long way towards killing that Terrorblade. Again, they are lacking in ways to be able to interrupt it. It's really only the Fire Snap cookie at this stage. When you think of what's able to do it on a Chen, you're not able to really get into that melee range to be able to stop it with a Centaur Conqueror or anything like that. So maybe an Orchid's going to need to come out from 9 after he gets into this Hand of Midas. We'll have to wait and see.
Let's speak about FBZ's lane a little bit more then. What does he... Because it does seem like there is some kill threat with meta, maybe second pointed and potentially some of the right creeps from AUI. Are there any that you can see in particular that might offer some kill threat that AUI needs to prioritize in the jungle?
I mean, anytime that you can... Oh no, they're not going to be able to get the D ward off, so it makes the lane a whole lot more challenging. Luckily, they still have that that small camp blocked up. I mean, honestly, even just the mana burn creep is going to be really effective just to be able to stop him from using those conversions. I really feel like this this bounty hunter isn't going to be able to do too much in this game. You know, like you have no one to play with once you've got your track. You're very like single target oriented, and you've got TB illusions, spiderlings, and arc warden. You know, manta, temper stubble, all that sort of stuff, just roaming around the map, and even just the Chen units. It feels like, I don't know, it's been pretty hard counted with this last pick overall for TB. About to say they're just trying to make a bit of a... was going for a career snipe there, and he did get it onto AUI, so once again,
Bottom
Yamich
lane.
keeping up.
Should be our first blood onto Snaking. Tundra might be able to kill Puppy as well. That's a big right click from 33 with that insatiable hunger. So it is Puppy that strikes first though before his death.
That's the important thing. You got to make sure that you're not giving 33 another really solid start to this game. He still gets the kill, of course, and it's worth a lot, so he's going to have that second Wraith Bag coming through. He wants to be man-fighting Chrysalis at every opportunity, but at least now, Puppy able to claim that kill before his death. He's got plenty of farm. He's going to be, honestly, doing a little bit of work to pick up his own farm and be able to get some of these right clicks off himself, because as a universal hero, Venomancer feels a whole lot stronger than it used to. Just in terms of, it used to have abysmal right-click damage to be able to start things off. Now, not so much.
Top lane. FBZ's in some danger now. Never mind. Skitty just a couple meta right clicks and then turns to Yamich instead. So, without really being able to slow down FBZ, which, of course, will now secure this wave and maybe the next as well with that meta active. So, Secret will have to play a little bit more cautiously.
I'm really struggling to see what they do at all in this top lane. I was expecting Yamich to have maybe made a couple of creep pulls happen. He will at least be able to snipe this courier potentially that's coming through, so that could be some net worth going his way, but, well, hopefully for his sake he doesn't, like, reveal on the creep wave before it happens. He just needs to do this. The lane is just straight up unplayable if he doesn't do it, and, well, at least they're going to see him pulling, and that's going to let the TB courier get through with the boots of speed, so this little win there for Tundra, but you know, it's going to let FBC at least minorly come back into this game.
Lane Puppy. They're done. Snaking. Is he going to get out? They have the slows thanks to the Venomancer. Crystals has the movement speed with 2 points in the Thirst Boots. Just gets delivered as well. It's not required, so well, at least he's continuing to have a pretty good start, but it does feel like all the other lanes are starting to get a little bit more difficult. Even though Armel's looking good in the last hits, once Nine's able to get the levels, he can instantly deal with the refraction with that flux, and then the Spark Wraith is always an issue damage-wise as well, so...
I very much like this, you know, like I mentioned before that most of the time when you see these dire Arc Wardens, it's, you know, going into a few more points of the magnetic field.
Ah, it's a huge kill from Tundra. They're going to go into Chrysalis. I mean, this was the... Really, I mean, yes, mid last hits looks good, but this was the one lane that was going exceptionally well for Secret, and the fact that Tundra can now kind of slow down some of the momentum that Poppy along with Chrysalis is building is huge.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, Armel, he's getting his farm, for sure. But, I mean, 33 in winning lanes, you know, what do you expect? This is really what we come to see from this guy, and it really instantly took advantage of the fact that they saw Puppy TPing into that mid lane to be able to refill the bottle.
FBZ.
They'll be able to get a kill on Snaking. Oh, no, they won't. Another deny. God damn.
Top lane, FBZ is getting chased under the tower. Skitter's going to find him. Meanwhile, back to bottom, though. 33 still in some danger, but he's going to have the pathing. Still
a lot
top.
of damage on Skitter.
Yeah, what's going on? Brood steps on over. Meanwhile, back top lane, we can potentially go. Skitter gets out of danger. All action in the side lanes. Who's that favor? 3 kills overall, but of course FBZ does go down.
I mean, he's got a decent wave to farm. What's up?
Armel with the side blades almost killed 9.
Get a bottle refilled, though. But yeah, what we were talking about before with the magnetic field being maxed out, this needs to be a very active Arc Warden. Like, he's using it purely for vision right now to be able to catch Armel so that he's forced to just be drained of mana. And, you know, right now, Armel's still doing a very good job. He's such a talented player. 36 and 13 versus the 20 and 5, but he's having to use a lot of resources that might open himself up to be an avenue for ganks to come through. AUI, once again, being in that mid lane, will protect top power rune, its bottom, and Snakeking's right there to be able to protect that one as well.
I deserve this.
No stacks, I don't believe, built up for the TA as well. We know how much she relies on that, and so a bounty hunter's not really going to provide too much utility there. What's up?
Just 9's net worth is not where I expected it to be.
I mean, he's not level 6 yet, right? He's more about trying to slow down Armel as much as possible.
I think maybe I just panned over to mid at a couple of occasions where he was actually harassing the TA very nicely. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this lane seems actually maybe like it'll turn pretty shortly, but hasn't just yet. Top lane. Poppy's going to go through the rift. They have the idol and split just yet. Meta is ready, but I don't think you can pop it now when they're getting aggressive. Even Chrysalis wants to come through the rift as well. It might be a little bit too late unless Yamich's body blocks are on the mark.
They won't
Looks
be
like
reach.
that
Maybe
might
they
be
will.
yeah, they're going to go for it. Why not? T2 tower, don't need to fear if you can
Do they
kill him from
deny it?
outskirts. They even rupture as well. Pretty nice cookie from Snaking. We'll at least find a trade, but of course, that's a kill onto Skeeter. You're more than happy with that exchange of your secret.
Yeah, but speaking of skitter, you've got the Spiderling skittering around this bottom lane with the lane being pushed in as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really feels like this bottom side of the map is 33's territory in its entirety. They're going to be able to do some good damage into that tower as well, but he's going to let the creeps do it for now. Just looking to continue to grow that net worth.
Dire's top tower.
Should be able to get the kill into Snaking. This is cute with the cookie.
Bottom tower
No
is
TP,
under
they don't want to chase him. Maybe they go for AUI instead. You also should be able to escape. Alright, nicely done. Both Tundra supports get out of danger.
Dire's top tower is
They're really
under
going to open
attack.
up this map. You know, you'll just have nowhere to be able to farm if you don't take this area. You're also playing with a bounty hunter, right? So he could just look to follow this Terrorblade around and really force AUI to play a lot more defensively than I'm sure he would be wanting to. Big kill for Armel.
Dire's
Yep,
top
I saw
tower
it
The
too.
is
Hatred
under
as well, are they?
attack.
I was about to say, are they going to consider going in onto that mid lane? But I'm really expecting Yamich to just continuously follow around the... getting popped out, and he actually drops the Observer Ward after the fact, so might be able to get a really quick deny, and yeah, you can see AUI has already purchased up the Sentry Ward. He knows Yamich is playing around this sort of area.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Do you want to see Secret do a similar move to top lane where they collapse on mid with even the Bloodseeker getting involved, or you just need maybe another support in Poppy? Because we know how vulnerable the Arc Warden can be.
Yeah, I do, but I mean, I guess they've got the Rupture back up and available again. What I really want to see is, Yamich go a little bit away from these career stats. Looks like they want just a quick kill onto AUI, get up onto that track as quickly as possible. And I want to see Chrysalis. He obviously knows how to play the Bloodseeker, right? He's level 30 on the Dota Plus levels, and he needs to be using this Rupture basically off cooldown, because I feel like they're going to have a lot of struggles in finding some of these kills with the track to be able to continue this net worth advantage that, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that they have right now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, nice Corey if Yamich can get it.
Dire's courier has
Alright,
been
that's,
killed.
I think, the completed Echo set. Still needed the Ogre Axe, but it was the Oblivion stuff nonetheless. Do we like this build as well from 33? Going for a little bit more of the right-click build? I don't know if that's now, like, I haven't seen too many Broodmother offlanes now with a recent change. Is it pretty much you have to go for the right-click, or still the auras is a potential?
I don't like the Auras build anymore. I feel like it's going to get to a stage where you can probably get some of these value items, like a Pipe seems really good this game, just against the Midnight Pulse, against the Venomancer with a Noxious Plague, and just consider how many units they're going to have, right? The Chen army, the Spiderlings, the Manta plus Tempest double, so 6 Arc Wardens, and then all of TP's Manta Illusions as well. So that's a lot of units that you could give some auras over to. It's just a question of the order that you get everything. I'm expecting the AUI after a Solar Crest to look to go down that sort of route.
Someone's going to need to deal with the spiders mid. This
So
is
annoying.
more again in the jungle. Yamich and Poppy been able to run into AUI, so continue to get closer and closer towards the level 6 here for Yamich. Might even get the... Okay, never mind, he wants to kill.
He was trying. No, he was trying for the deny there with his giant wolf
okay.
as well. So they needed to make sure that they were really on point with waiting for the Janata to be back off cooldown. So it was just that big burst in damage.
And look at the net worth of FBZ compared to the Terrorblade. He is well and truly caught up. This is going to further help that with getting the Tempest double kill as well. So This was a very good start to the game for Tundra, but Secret have done an incredible job to withstand some of the pressure and, you know, build the net worth lead, grow on the map as well. They've just, it feels like multiple people have never left top, so very impressed with what Secret have been able to do over the past couple of minutes.
I mean, for me, they both have drafts that don't really do much, right? Obviously, the Arc Warden is much of the active hero in this game, at least for Tundra, but I've been really impressed with how Secret, I'm sure this is under the direction of Puppy, he's just like, look, we need to play on their side of the map and we need to not let up. If we die, we die, but we can't sit back and let this legitimate late game tri-core run us over.
Got a fight breaking out. Staking with the Mortimer Kisses. He's going to start onto Armel. Nine still in some danger as well. They're probably going to trade mid laners at the moment as FBZ finds an angle for the black hole. Hurricane tries to push the Brood out of the Blood Ripe, but it's not going to matter in the end. Is 33 standing strong? I don't think he's going to be able to once the Insatiable Hunger expires in there. Wait, Armel didn't die?
Nope.
Are you serious? Armel lives through it all, and Secret have 0 casualties, and all of a sudden, this net worth lead balloons up to 5,000, and they didn't have the track as well online for Yamich, so this is a night and day difference from game 1 to game 2 for Secret.
I was about to say that, like, that is the biggest surprise for me. Even after those 4 kills, Yamich still doesn't have track. You know, he's just been spending so much time around the map, sniping couriers and doing this, that, and the other. How the hell did that happen? I mean, most of the time you don't see these Bloodseekers, you know, just come into the team fights with just a Maelstrom. You know, you need that BKB to be able to have an impact, but yes, one of the things that we did mention during the draft is that Tundra are very lacking with those stuns and those slows. So if you're able to, you know, control the Snapfire in the early stages, then you're going to be able to have a pretty easier time to actually get a lot more active, and Crystallis has done that. You know, 5, 1, and 3 right now on a Bloodseeker is not the scoreline that you would expect, unless it's like a laning phase dominance, which it absolutely wasn't.
So what do Tundra need to consider now? Is it just, you know, the classic, you're behind, play the full extent of the map and rat as much as you can? Because Skitter's gone for this Midas as well. I mean, dude, even Puppy's got a Midas. Like, why the hell not? But I want to speak about Skeeters a little bit more because, you know, this is
actually
a build.
Have Midas?
Yeah, Puppy just bought it. So
okay.
Yamich bottom. He's got armor near him to. He's a bodyguard. Even FBZ, just in case. FBZ's even going Midas as well. So okay.
I said it was going to be a greedy 2-0 game, didn't I?
So
I just wasn't expecting Puppy.
This is... Alright, we're in a very, very crazy position now. So, interesting that this Terrorblade Midas is starting to rise in popularity. I think Skeeter is definitely one of the carries that likes this build as Crystallis. Might need to tip you out straight away. It's got the damage though. Oh my lord. Jesus, that was a lot from 9.
Well, just able to get away. Maybe rising in popularity, you said, with the Midas?
Yeah, and I think Skeeter is one that, at least from what I've seen here in some of the games, he likes to go down that route. So just, you know, especially with this game, with, I mean, the lane looked good, but then all of a sudden he fell very far behind in gold. So he's got a Midas. We've got a couple other Midases in this game as well. So, I mean, now we can kind of look at it as a whole. It obviously seems like Secret feel like they can actually compete versus Tundra at the late game with these Midases. Would you agree?
I would agree, and it's also, I guess for Puppy, I'm sure this isn't the reason that he got it, but you've got the added benefit of just being able to instantly deal with a lot of these Chen creeps. Speaking of Chen, Armel just absolutely melts him. No level 2 items just yet, still 2 minutes away. Gossamer Capes, of course, going to be as strong as ever. And Secret are approaching this really dangerous timing where they've already put a lot of damage into, a decent amount of damage into the tier 2 top. They've taken the tier 1. And Armel's approaching that Desolator. You've got it coming around the similar sort of time as the Bloodseeker BKB, so maybe with that and the mechanism and the track being available and Puppy having the Noxious Plague level 9 on this Venoman, so they're going to feel like they're capable of fighting around this this Roshan pit.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I really wonder if
Dire's courier
Yamich gets another Courier Snipe and also sees snaking, so there could be some kill opportunities now for Secret down bottom. But offer more gold thanks to the track. Just rips it apart. So I think there's a couple things we could be looking for, right? Like Tundra with these tier 2 neutrals with the Gossamer Capes. And then even for, you know, maybe some of the supports on Secret, we could be looking at like some early Dagons. I think mainly Puppy, just because he will have a lot more gold with the Midas, but just a way to kind of address the Terrorblade illusions.
Not just terribly, the Arc Ward and Manta illusions as well inside of the,
yeah,
the magnetic field if it eventually gets to that point. So yeah, I wouldn't hate a level 1 Dagon, you know, for a Venomancer especially. You know, ever since the recent change to the Dagon, it actually does spell amp as well. So you're able to go into that sort of route if you were really wanting to.
We just looking at Roche now?
DD top as well. Yeah, I mean, I think with this DD, that's going to be the real tipping point.
Looks like he's starting to beeline towards the top Roche pit area, so...
They would love a pick-off before then. Yamich going hunting right now for Skidder. Might get another courier. Or will he get it before he reaches the TV? Yes, he will. There we go, even giving him the high five, saying, no fight for you, no movement speed, and, well, now that they know where the TB's been farming as well and they've forced him back, this is going to be a completely free Roche.
Well, we've brought it up multiple times now that we've casted Seeker, but Yamich even in the lane somehow gets courier snipes, and you give him the bounty hunter, dude. I mean, he's going to find a lot of them across the map, so... And there we go into Roche. So who would you like the Aegis to be on though? Often is the Templar Assassin. Is it just going to be the same thing this game?
I think so. I mean, for me, unless you're playing with like a Storm Spirit or a Leshrac, you give it to the person that has the most farm in the game. And right now it's Armel. He's the one that's going to be blinking forward. He's the one that's going to be playing in those dangerous areas to start off the fight. So you want to just give him that secondary life to be able to continue brooding on forward.
Yamich.
Great job of dealing with his Spiderlings as well. Armel is just nuking so many down. I would love to see a Spiderling counter because it really feels like he's able to nuke through a lot of those.
Alright.
After Roche, he's nearly got his next item already.
That's crazy. LTA, dude. It is something else. I see kind of a first smoke in a while here from Tundra. They do have a pretty good setup around their triangle, but now with the Plague Wards here, it's going to be a bit difficult for them to reoccupy.
They found Snake.
Oh, they found 9 as well.
Ooh, just missed.
He's going to cast the ultimate early. Snake King's going to use the kisses as well. They'll blow up the Venomancer, which is a pretty good start to the fight. What do they want to turn to next? 9 might just feed the Tempest double, but it's just Chrysalis at the moment beating into it. That'll be enough.
It's a lot of juicy farm to be able to get into, and really the main priority is just taking away this area of the map for Tundra to be able to play around with. Again, you're playing with all these illusion heroes. Like, I feel like 33's been doing a pretty good job of just trying to keep that bottom lane pushed in, but it was a lot of, like, I don't want to say defensive TPs, but Chrysalis didn't really need to be playing around that top area of the map outside of that Rupture. The TP has an 80-second cooldown, Rupture has a 70-second, 75-second cooldown, so it was really just like, alright, I've done that, let's deal with this Broodmother for now. Just leaving Armel here solo, he could probably just end up taking this tower solo. Right before, I mean, this is basically a mirroring of what happened last game, right? Right before that 20-21 minute mark, they were able to take the tier 2, they were able to be setting up in position to be able to yoink away the Tormentor, and, I mean, latent toxicity is pretty good this game. You know, you're playing against Mantas, you're playing against eventual BKBs that are going to be coming through. But Puppy to get that would be huge.
Let's have the Dagon queued up though, so...
Or Puppy?
Yes, for Puppy. And mine, he just changed to Force. Okay. I swear he had it queued up.
Wishful thinking.
Nah, come on, dude, come on. Them wrap it around. They see 33, but I think it's just them wanting to try and control this.
I don't know. Armel's here, man.
Well, let's see what Armel's going to be able to do. Kills the Spiderlings. Momenta's up though, so with popping it, being able to drop Plague Wards, it'll...
They're just sending a Spider. Whoa. Why doesn't the Spider die to that damage?
That's true. I don't know. Ah, yes. AUI up the AUI things. He did get scanned though, so Chrysalis... he can probably just TP out. I don't think he's going to have the damage. Nope. Get him!
He'll get him. Oh!
I was going to the Tormentor still. 100 gonna steal themselves. That looks like Secret got it. Might get Snay. I wasn't able to run through the gate, so another track kill for Secret. 11,000 net worth lead, man.
Did they just get no Gossamer Capes or something? Like, none of them have gone for it. We see 3 Vambraces, we see 1 Bullwhip, and we see a Philosopher's Stone. That is doing so much against them, man. Just that TA able to nuke them down.
Are they really going to try and poke high ground?
You can poke it.
Has fallen.
You're already taking mid at the same time.
Link is getting delivered on FBZ as well, so see if he's going to be able to find an angle for the black hole. They've taken 2 tier 2 towers. Looks like they want that last one up top, though. I think all these outer objectives going to continue to make this game very difficult for Tundra with the greedy lineup they've had, so already seen how difficult it has been for them to kind of split their heroes and farm, even getting some of that for the supports. I mean, Snapfire would love some items and levels, but this is not a game where they're going to get any.
They're making sure to hold a lot of their TPs as well. Like this, a little surprised that someone didn't come a little bit quicker. I was about to say FBZ was using his Blink Dagger just to get to that top lane a little bit quicker. But for now, Skidder, you should be able to have taken... Like, actually, the tier 1 tower doesn't die up top. But FBZ is just looking to cut the wave, keep it from pushing it even further, and then open up, like you said, the avenue into taking that that tier 2 Radiant Dire top tower. Which is just constantly on the hunt. He actually got given the bottle as well from Armel. They're actually pinging out Skidder. They see him during the nighttime.
He might just black hole. I mean, they probably might not even need it as well, but... Skidder, how are you getting out of this one, brother? It doesn't look like there is any hope at all, even... Oh, he got this... What? Oh, I mean, dude, that Greaves, you're just... How do you get back to full? It looked like FBZ somehow returned the Sunder. And meanwhile, you're even killing Snapfire as well, Chrysalis with the help of Puppy.
I honestly don't know how Secret have done this. Like, this is... They were just so aggressive on the way that they were playing, and it's paid off for them in spades, you know? Like, Tundra tried to outgreed them, and it clearly hasn't worked out. I think they weren't expecting Armel to just boss that mid lane as much as he did. This was even with the Tundra supports coming and making those rotations and securing a couple of power runes and bottle refills and everything of that nature. And I really feel like Chrysalis has to be commended. You know, he obviously didn't have a great game on the Juggernaut in game number 1, but you give him one of these heroes that he knows the in and outs, he knows the strengths and the weaknesses. He's able to just adjust his gameplay very slightly, just to be a little bit more active and put Tundra on the back foot. I haven't seen AUI go for too many of those rat plays on this Chen. He's trying to do it a little bit on the top side, but this is not something that needs to be fully responded to by the entire team.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I've got another result in as well. Shopify lost game 1 versus Asta, so win here for Secret will guarantee themselves at least in the lower bracket.
Yep. Also means that even if Tundra lose this match, they're still potentially in it with 3-way tiebreakers for 1 lower bracket slot.
Another DD as well for them to work with. Doesn't seem like they need that extra advantage.
Not seeing many sentries as well from Tundra to be able to protect against Yaman. She's just roaming around. And now they had the Wisdom Rune to be able to make plays with, but DD. Oh no, Skidder denies it. Nicely done. There we go. This is one from AUI. He's just cut like the last 3 waves on this top side of the map. So he's going to be able to use the Centaur Conqueror to hopefully man fight the Radiant Belly Creep that Radiant wins.
They found snaking. They're killed. No bounty for the track. Not going to matter. I mean, so we're probably looking at second Roche, right? Before Secret try and go up the high ground.
I would say so. I mean, it makes complete sense for them to just play on this top side of the map. I feel like Armel is just going to push out 1 more wave and then go back up towards the top side. Roche will be spawning within the next 30 seconds to 3.5 minutes. You've got a tower there to be able to claim. This is the only area that feels safe right now for Skidder to be able to farm. So just all the objectives really lining up here. Go on to AUI, maybe.
Well, it's a very quick kill indeed. This is almost is it Daedalus? What's he?
MKB.
Okay.
I mean, I don't hate this sort of play too, right? Do they have... I want to see Puppy put a Plague Ward inside the Roche pit just so that they have understanding of if it's a really quick Roche respawn. But I don't even hate Armel playing on this bottom side, right? I was saying that this top area of the map is the one place that they feel somewhat safe to be able to be. But look at the areas being drawn right now. That's Yamich just saying, hey, I've been walking around this entire time and I know exactly where they're playing. So, you're just restricting the amount that they're able to farm, you're increasing your own net worth lead, and you're potentially forcing someone to have to TP down towards that bottom side of the map to defend against, like, your tower from getting hit by, you know, a TA or even just the Enigma Eidolons. And as soon as that happens, you know that it's a free Roche for you.
And they were very slow to react. Yamich popped the smoke and started to turn around. They're going to still get Puppey. Through Dying Breath, chucks out his ultimate to try and kill Snaking. They're starting to come through. Whoa. This is a crazy attempt. Are they going to get away with it?
I think they know exactly what's going on, though, with Yamich. He's not under vision right now, but...
It's falling fast, dude. It's gone. What?
This is the power of that magnetic field, man. Especially playing it on the dire side with the Manta and everything else.
Oh, wait. Are they going to be able to do this?
Amel doesn't have a BKB.
And Meta's about to be out in a quarter duration. I don't know if Tundra can actually continue with this potential
setup. They'll be able to see them on the retreat. And using the Eidolon to give a little bit of
Oh, dude, FBZ's ready. Look at the Enigma's positioning, ready to jump. He sees an opening. As soon as there's an opportunity, he's going to go in. It's actually Armel that starts onto Snaking. They'll get the first kill. Crystal's going to be able to turn as well. FBZ, there we go. Waiting the wings and finds the black hole onto 2 and up with the damage. It'll be plentiful. They'll deal with the first life, but they don't have to worry about the Terrorblade. With no meta, Skeeter is just a pest tickling them inside the fights. Armo is falling a little bit low here. Maybe they're going to be concerned about keeping him alive. Crystal's going to try and do his best. Nice Sunder. Skeeter stands strong, but it might be enough. There's 33. He's not going to win the man fight as well as Chrysalis' Bloodseeker rips them apart. They can go to 9 now as well as the Arcwatem trying to do his best, but Chrysalis is in with a finishing blow and then zooms over to AUI as well as he gets some tips, and they are deserved off the back of the triple kill.
Zipping across the map. I mean, they were so close to making sure that FBZ wasn't an influence in that fight. It was actually really nicely done by 33 for the very start of that. He was keeping the Spiderlings on him, just making sure that that Blink Dagger was being cancelled, but he was able to duck off to the side, use the smoke as well, I believe, just to be able to get out of that Spiderling vision and then eventually landing that 2-man black hole, preventing the TB from being a factor in the later stages. And yeah, we can see now with that nullifier that 33 had picked up being used onto Armel, he doesn't have that Hurricane Pipe for safety, so he's going into a BKB next.
Hold on a second. This is a little bit scary. They're about to respawn. Are they going to be able to penalize them, though? Alright, never mind.
Oh, wait, that Arcwater is TPing in onto the...
Is that real? That's real.
Yes, it is.
9? Alright, Chris's BKB run away, my friend. The right click's gonna be enough. They're scary. Oh my... Alright. 9. Deep is in, knows no fear, and... it's, yeah, they only lose tier 3, nothing too crazy. I mean, still it's not the greatest position to be in, but there are some signs of life for Tundra.
Little things going their way, you know, that make you think, well, maybe, just maybe, you know? It's 17% win probability at this point in time. And, I mean, even the supports are starting to scale a little bit, right? You've got the 4 stuff now on AUI, so a lot more safety against the TA, against the Venomancer as well. Solar Crest, drums being built up, so that classic Tundra style is really starting to come to the front. And, well, there's the Dagon final.
Nice.
Getting into just the level 1. That's all you need. Just for that extra spell amp, the ability to get rid of illusions, because they are really having trouble with them when they're just able to clump up inside this tiny area. Of course, FBZ, he's going to be licking his lips if they go for that one too many times, because I could definitely see like a 4-man black hole come in this game.
It is time though, but again, Secret felt like they were going to be able to match the late game of Tundra with these Midases. We'll see if that will truly be the case or not.
It feels like just with his Tempest double, he's going to be able to do a good amount of damage into FBZ, and even expires as well. I always look at like how stressed or tense a team is by how many neutral items are available. And Secret have 3 right now. They know what this game means. They are completely safe if they're able to get this win. And maybe a Psychic Headband on FBZ. I mean, he's going into an Aether Lens for himself. So clearly he wants that extra cast range. Still holding onto the Philosopher's Stone for now. Just continuously want to find these track kills, continue scaling with the net worth.
Could be... Oh, nice wraparound. Look at Yarmich's vision is providing them. You're going to be able to see Tundra starting to funnel bottom, and once again, they clump up for the multi-man black hole. 33 gets out of it somehow, but you're at least able to catch Skeeter. 33 TP's out in their face, and Snaking will also escape, so what was looking like a disastrous fight. Somehow it is just Skeeter that dies.
Yeah, almost caught the Broodmother there on the very edge. Did he like harpoon to a creep or something like that just to give himself that little bit of extra range? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I thought he just wandered out, but I don't particularly remember. I don't think so though.
Now Armel is going to be feeling a lot stronger. Playing around this top side of the map right now, I don't believe they smoked under vision, although it might have been with a TA trap. Giving a little bit of that understanding. Right now though, Armel, he's in a smoke of his own. Playing with that fresh BKB coming out on the courier right now, he wants to make sure he's got it at his disposal.
33. Pops the smoke on the low ground, awkward position for him to be in. Nine's going to try and offer some assistance with the magnetic field, even the artillery to protect him as well as armor. That's an aggressive jump. Wants to try and play up in the face. Skeeter's going to try and turn with the metamorphosis as well. It's an awkward start from either side. Poking, prodding, trying to see the chink in the armor and how they're going to be able to penalize them. A Secret a little bit separated. Nine's going to be able to catch up, Puppy. Should be able to die to the right clicks. Maybe to the right side though. Crystals, he's also isolated from the team. A Secret, they just get split up far too much, and another decent scenario for Tundra.
Another one, and it's all set off the back of 33. He managed to dodge the noxious play coming in onto him. So Puppy, with all of this extra lifesteal, everything else coming through for them, they're just able to shrug it off. He was level 18 at the start of that fight. It would have done so much extra damage when you consider all of the illusions and everything else that they've got coming their way. And speaking of that, I mean, Armel, he's going to be living the dream. Dollar in this mid lane just to be able to clear all of it out. But this is what can happen. Unless you get that perfect jump onto Tundra, if you allow them to set up inside the perfect magnetic field, absolutely look to swarm you over. This is kind of what I was expecting to come through a little bit earlier on, right? Again, the bounty hunter is good at finding those individual pickoffs, but if you don't, then there's just way too many units for this Team Secret roster to have to deal with.
And it's starting to really get to the stage where we're seeing it be a really big issue. It's just kind of the overwhelming amount of stuff they have to deal with, just the crap on the ground. So see how much it's going to continue to influence these next couple of fights as Tundra will be able to get the shard on 9. So that's kind of an okay one. I don't know if is there any others you would have preferred. Probably 33s, but I mean his...
Love it for 33, but
yeah.
I mean, honestly, even the magic resistance inside isn't that bad. You know, against the Midnight Pulse, against the Veno,
yeah,
all of his spells can be quite nice. Yeah. Another smoke happening. Black hole back up again. Maybe they're going to bait this illusion rune.
And that's split as well. Skeeter's not with the boys.
Would love a free pick.
Huge observe ward. FPC is going to be able to find the initiation. This time the Black Hole's onto 2, and Armel just cleans him down. The side blade spill. Man, there was just no opportunity for any response on Tundra. And that was the opening they were waiting for. 60 seconds now without a buyback on the Arc Warden. They can look to walk it down. They're even starting to sit up potentially onto 33 down bottom. This would be another gigantic kill.
He doesn't have banter.
They should be able to get him. Chrysalis is here. Might be forced to try and stand his ground and fight, but the Maleficent is going to prove to be too difficult. They gnaw the kill. At least he's got a buyback.
And they're banking on the fact that not all of Tundra do, because it's a very dangerous area for Uppy and Armel to be playing in solo away from the rest of the boys, right next to that area, and they're even going to get a Chemadru site for themselves before a courier gets there, and look at him rushing out to try and claim it. Ramesh, 2 eyes, 2 gems though. Going up onto the high ground.
Whoa,
Crystallis jumping in. Trying to bait out some buybacks perhaps. Sim BKB, but generally feeling pretty happy about it all. The Noxious Plague landing in onto the Terrorblade, wasn't able to man to dodge that one. It's the first lane Rax going over to Secret. They're in a position where they should know that Roshan's back up as well, so could see them just, again, pushing in the lanes, yoinking away the Wisdom Rune, and they're a pretty juicy wave. It's the 35-minute mark, so double catapults on the top side of the map that they need to make sure aren't pushing into that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, I like how you brought it up, because the map's actually in a pretty decent position for Tundra to get out. You know Black Hole's down, you know the BKB's down on Chrysalis as well. if you just shove mid and maybe deal with the wave down bottom with illusions, which they will from Skeeter, you can definitely get to Roshan. You might even start to take it just to force a fight with everything on cooldown. So there is definitely...
But you got to remember, they know the Black Hole is on cooldown. They do not know that FBZ has just finished Refresher. So that is the big difference maker. He's underneath the smoke as well. He would love to be able to wait long enough just to be able to have it and the Refresher at their disposal. And that's why Puppey is looking to set up around this. They don't want to let them take it for free.
That's huge.
Al's not quite there. He's got himself coming out with his level 25, so plenty of refraction instances, a swift blink. Quite enough for the buyback.
Like you said, does he pop the Refresher? What's going to be the call? Because this Roche fell incredibly fast previously. Once they get the field down in the illusions as well,
so
dude, it's gone. Oh my god. And Puppey's gone as well. Look at the damage that can come out with all of the illusions. Tundra. Are they going to be able to take a successful fight, or FBZ will catch him off guard? But it's just a Tempest double. It's not big enough. He can still pop the Refresher, but he's out of mana as well. They'll deal with 9. It's going to be up to Skeeter and Co now to turn this team fight back into their favor, but it's not going to be easy. Cheese Eden, 33. Sunder almost just gone. Tundra. They are still alive.
They are. I mean, that was so close to being a 4-man black hole there for FBZ, but it really did feel like they were baiting it. You know, they come in and then they immediately Delta split away. He's so close to that regen rune in the river as well, just to be able to have enough, be able to go back in and potentially get another kill with it. But you can't do it with no BKB on the Bloodseeker, and absolutely can't do it with no Armel. How quickly did that TA die, man? He has +7 refraction instances. Just the Sunder and a little bit of damage coming through from the Brood.
Man, oh man. Are they... Oh, who have they found? Poor AUI. Should be another kill for... What is Chen doing? Just feeling like it's a little bit safe for him to steal some of the farm, but... Secret will say no regardless. I mean, this is...
Pretty valuable kill, actually, to give up. I mean, Yamit, she's got level 3 track, and... With this, if he's able to get the last hit on the Ancient Black Dragon, he'll have a Scythe of Vice for himself. Okay. So, very key to be able to, again, find a pick-off, or even if you just wanted to use it onto an illusion, I mean, it's not burst. Obviously, you want to use it onto a hero, but underneath that magnetic field, you'll just suffer so much from the right-click coming through from Tundra.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Again, just all the junk on the ground is really starting to be a bit of an issue here for Secret. This Puppey's going to run straight to Snay. They don't have 9 with them at the moment. It won't matter for the kill onto Puppey, but it might matter if a further fight breaks out, because Secret, they're starting to TP all their heroes down bottom. Skeeter's continuing to chase as FBZ. They'll be able to get the Black Hole onto 33, all the commitment for the Broodmother. Skeeter's still in a lot of danger as well. Finds an opportunity for the Sunder, but it's not going to matter as Crystallis. He'll deal with the first life with ease, but now with 9 here, what's the call? Can reevaluate. They've got plenty of time to determine if this is a fight they want to take, and it looks like they're happy with the kill on the Brood, and that Age is getting claimed.
Yeah, they couldn't continue to fight, right? You still had the Metamorphosis, you had the Arc Warden showing up with a fresh magnetic field and the Tempest double available. Like, they would have just been fighting into something absolutely dangerous.
Oh, this is a really cool position from Yamich. He has the rest of the boys kind of nearby if needed. They're pretty split as well. A couple people showing down bottom in the lane. They might even just get AUI.
Yeah.
Not again. Friends, help me. Oh, couple of hits. Another track kill. So we brought up how important this Hex is going to be for Yamich. Now with all the kills they're still getting with track, he's going to have a decent chunk of gold. What could he be considering as his next item as well?
What's he already got? He's got the Boots of Bearing. What do they even need at this point? Shivas isn't bad, but I wouldn't even hate seeing something like a Lotus Orb come through just to be able to get rid of that penitence onto someone, to be able to reflect back a Scythe of Vice, get rid of EB Reflection.
I wonder if there's going to be consideration as well for like a for ton. We know the item.
33's got it.
Oh, true. Do you need another?
The cast range for it is pretty decent. Used to be horrible. dealing with Chrysalis in particular.
Yeah.
Well, the important thing was, like, Chrysalis held his BKB for the longest time in that past fight because they're always targeting 33. They're targeting the nullifier carriers right now. I know he doesn't really until he's like in a dangerous position. It was a split second late to be able to dodge the Sunder in that last fight. Didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it does just mean that you need to focus this main hero. So I can honestly understand and appreciate going for a second nullifier just so that it's not like a one and done. If you catch 33, the fight's over.
I feel like this 23,000 net worth lead is incredibly inflated. It does not feel like Secret have that large of a lead at the moment. It's going to be a smoke on smoke. Double black holes ready as well.
Now FBZ actually has a neutral item as well. Yeah, that timeless relic I'm sure you were just about to mention. But he still didn't use his tier 3 neutral item as well. So it's a lot of damage that he's going to have coming through. That Midnight Pulse is really going to start to rip through a lot of people. That's another one of those double catapult waves. Mel's going to be the one that takes it. Just keeping someone behind. FBZ actually ends up blinking back immediately after the TP in.
They placed the ward where the Observer Sentry is set up. Still not having a gem on Tundra is really hurting them. The one that's in the base on Secret and getting held by Yarmich. Yeah, so Tundra, need to buy their own because currently the vision is proving to be very difficult. And now the smoke from Secret.
I mean, they know where they are, right? Very happy to go for this.
Look at Chrysalis, dude. That's an aggressive jump in. Early rupture onto Skeeter.
Yeah. It's underneath the Silver Edge right now. They want to
try and that Field's a bit of a beacon of where Skeeter's currently positioning. Hex is out. Can they blow him up throughout the chain control? But the force off gets him out of the black hole. No way. Skeeter. What a defensive play. FBZ is going to be ready with a second round, but they won't even give him that opportunity. He tries to get back to the safety of his side of the map, and meanwhile, Armel as well is in danger as Tundra just completely outplay Secret in that fight. And they're not even done.
Ooh, just gets the Shadow Walk off in time. Almost had the Scythe of Vice up and available. At least gets a little bit of that back, but it's one buyback expended right now. You're going to need to use another, and they're going to test if Armel's got his available. They really afford to put Yarmich onto the front lines, but again, he cannot deal with this sort of push. It's not even going to deal with any of the illusions inside of the magnetic field. It'll deal with no one.
They know where the real 9 is.
Indeed.
And he's split from the team, boys. Look at the damage! Oh, Crystallis just munches on 9.
Oh, they were still using the remnants of that Observer Ward that they had up towards where the last fight took place, and really want to see Crystallis the next few times that they go into these engagements as they finally get rid of that Observer Ward that they used to be able to play around. He needs to make sure that he's got that full Aghanim Scepter shield onto himself because he is melting at a lot of these, and he feels like he needs to be the frontliner in a lot of these engagements as AUI looks like he'll be able to get away with the haste.
Do you agree with the kind of read from Secret that the Lincolns is valuable for the late game fights? Because Armel just bought his, and still Chrysalis, it looks like he wants the Lincolns instead of something like the Abyssal that he kind of has been going back and forth in the quick buy.
I think the Lincolns is important, right? Like, you're going up against all of these hexes. That's the way that you're dying a lot of the time, especially as the BKBs start to get a little bit lower. You know, the Lincolns just goes up so much in value off the back of that, and what I just saw was the quick take of the Tormentor by Tundra, and finally 33 has that Insatiable Hunger Aghanim Shard. So he has been doing a lot of damage so far this game, but it really just starts to ramp up even further. 16-second Insatiable Hunger. You're just dealing more and more damage as the fight goes on, and that's really what Tundra want. They want these longer fights.
See if they can get those long fights, though.
I mean, even if the black holes haven't been perfect these past couple of times, and Snaking's got a basher.
Okay,
as well.
I just saw his image. I'm like, hang on a second, what the hell am I looking at?
It is legitimately a black hole disruptor.
All right. He's got the blink queued up next as well. Telescope very much going to help out with his attack range, but
someone going to walk out of position. And got the Scythe of Ice.
No, they're going to start on the TA. So Lincoln's, Chrysalis, another aggressive jump in once again with a rupture. We saw what happened last time when they committed too heavily onto Skeeter, but the position from Tundra, very aggressive, playing in front of Skeeter just in case.
Got the second rupture though. Seeker's level 25.
Roche is up in 10. Will be, well, at least no way it's going to be able to go down bottom, so Secret will have firm control of this area.
Using Eidolons to scout for now.
This double's going to try and charge in and give him some information. We'll see a couple of the Secret heroes. It's a lot of vision that it's starting to provide Tundra. They're going to start to move on forward now with this. Can clear some of the traps, can clear some of the wards as well.
Yeah, really didn't want to have Armel pop that BKB. They know how important this upcoming Roche fight is, and they know that it's spawned up as well. Getting a little bit of that high ground vision, but again, it's just so many units to have to deal with Puppey, with the Day God just to clear out the TB illusion. Really paying him back for that investment. They're just like trying to get as many of these aggressive wards up as possible.
Well, they're going to lead with kisses. And once again, looking to try and give them as much information as they can. All right, Shaman.
So, all right. This might be cope, but maybe that Mortimer's Kisses was a little bit of bait saying, you know what, we don't need to worry about sneaking anymore. And the fact that that little shredder with the basher is going to come through might catch them completely by surprise.
All right, very interesting call.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. FBZ.
Even
going to be able to do
as well. Extra attack range for that that Snapfire.
Dude, my eyes are locked on this Enigma. I mean, you see they're constantly trying to scout him out. Shadowblade's definitely going to make it a little bit more difficult. We at least have this gem to play with on Die, but if FBZ...
He was hoping for the Ninja Gear to come through with that tier 4 items. He ended up getting a Timeless Relic, not the worst one by any stretch, but you only have a set number of smokes in this game, and just playing around each other right now, and again, the side with more units is going to be the one with more information.
Oh, snaking. Pops the smoke, and they're going to jump instantly on the target. It's an early BKB out of Crystallis. They want to try and take the Snapfire out of the equation, but it's not going to be an easy kill.
Alive.
The snaking should be shut down thanks to Armel, but he committed in. He's starting to fall pretty low, even off the back of the BKB. Tundra, they are very happy with that start. Now, they did pop meta, though, and FBZ has to use a BKB. He can refresh for a second round. And it's got to get rid of one of the potential of the black holes. So Skeeter, he knows no fear. Wants to charge in. Senses of sign of weakness. Skeeter's going to be cautious. Or can he find a sun to target Skeeter? If he buys back, there's no meta. The play, they're clumped up. FBZ finds a Rock Warden. Onto 2, and they just rip him apart. Secret. Now we're going for more. Tundra. The buybacks, that's the thing that could stand in between Secret and taking this team fight. There's 33. Into the middle they go. It's Tundra back as 5. They're going to try and target down Yamich at the moment with the Bounty Hunter soaking all the spells. Crystallis comes in to protect him, but what can the Bloodseeker do? He'll offer some assistance, buying some time, helping the retreat. His Secret, they'll disengage as 5. No one's split at the moment.
There's no reason to fight right now. You just got to back off. I know that there's Roche up, but you've got this huge investment coming out there from Tundra. All of those buybacks being expended. Maybe they want to go back in, though.
Because look at the base. If someone doesn't go back, these tier 4s are falling. You got to make a call here, and you got to do it now. As 9, they're going to be able to jump the Arc Warden. That's a dieback. Crystallis just might do it all in this final fight. The Bloodseeker knows no fear. He won't stop for anyone.
Oh, there it is. It's a good game. Well played. Coming through from Tundra and Secret. They are safe. It took them a lot longer than a lot of their fans would have been expecting, but 50 minutes in, they're able to secure it. Lower bracket for them, and now Tundra need to bite their nails and wait for the results of the TSM and Shopify series.
All right. I mean, I'm checking now, seeing if any of them are done. I don't know. It doesn't look like they are, so... Damn, that is, what a performance out of Secret. We said as well, right? I mean, there were a lot of factors that go into this game and the success for Secret, but we brought up, dude, if anyone was going to be able to have the Bloodseeker performance they needed in this game to get them over the finish line, it was Crystallis, and there's just no doubt about it. He's the best Bloodseeker in the world, and you continue to give him this hero, and he will punish you for that.
I think that's underselling Armel as well. I thought he was phenomenal. I mean, 2 level 30 heroes at the end of the day, and I mean, Armel, we've known from the C scene for the longest time, right? The man is confident on his Templar Assassin, and he was just tearing them apart. 0 Gossamer Capes. Well, maybe that was the difference. You never know. And FBZ as well. Not the most landed black holes, but when he needed to, when the clutch was there at the very end, the man delivered. Midnight Pulse as well. probably the one ability that they had to just completely rip through all of these illusions, all of the summons that they had, ended up doing third most damage in the entire game on that Enigma. So congratulations need to be given to Secret, a team that not a lot of people would have expected to come through to the playoffs. A lot of people had them going out even in the play-in stage. So big ups from them, and it's just step one on the journey towards Puppy winning TI this year, as is tradition.
Yes, it's I like that you brought that up, because that's actually something I was thinking about highlighting with somehow, I don't know what it is, but Secret, when they get to the later stages of the year, something starts to click, whether it is the meta's right for them, or they've learned a bunch of things over the year. It doesn't matter. Like you said, I mean, overall, this is the script is there. If they make it to TI, then they will win. But of course, that's a different tournament, one that we aren't looking at just yet. So Secret, they're going to move over to the playoffs in the lower bracket. Like we said, we do not know the fate of Tundra just yet, but we'll be waiting some results. I had a quick look. TSM are down like 11,000 in game 2, and Asta vs Shopify, I think Asta have like a 2-3k lead. So at least TSM aren't looking too good in that game, but that's all we need to speak about for this final series. Incredible performance from the boys on Secret. Play of the day. What are we even starting with? This was earlier on with OG up against GG. This was another pretty crazy game and crazy series as well.
It was. I feel that OG had the potential to be able to take this one out. This was when I was thinking, you know what, this is what the draft was made for. They were playing from a 4K deficit, even just 11.5 minutes into this game. But this is the one that I thought that OG might have been able to take the W. Didn't end up mattering at the end of the day. That was just such a heads-up Dark Rift in, seeing that BZM didn't have the mana to be able to contest. They were taking Roshan at the time, but it didn't matter. They wanted to put their stamp on this game on GG. And here we go. It's one of those big plays that Secret and Tundra were looking to make plays around, and this was just such a dominant performance coming out from 9.
Yes, that it was indeed, and starting to showcase how strong the Meepo is. I actually had a look at the win rate of Meepo. 17 games, I think actually 18 now. I checked before that game and had a 35% win rate. So it's interesting to see that at least the Meepo is getting played, because we both always like to say we just want heroes to be viable. We want to see as many heroes as we possibly can. We don't want it to be like a 20 hero meta. So it's nice to see the Meepo popping up here and there, and being able to have some success in games. And well, we definitely saw that with Nine's Meepo.
Absolutely, and well, that's it for you and me. We're not sure if there's going to be any tiebreakers on this stream or not, but I'm going to sit back and watch some great playoffs Dota, as well as the tiebreakers that are coming through, and wait for the 10th birthday update to come through from Valve for Dota. It's been a long time coming, but I can't wait to see it.
Can't wait to see it as well, and can't wait to see the playoff games that we're going to have shortly. It's incredible Dota that we get to witness, and with the stakes, you couldn't ask for them to be higher as well, with a $15 million tournament as well. So congratulations to the teams that are going to be playing in the playoffs, because that's definitely the position they want to be in front of a crowd, and hoping to fight for the fame and fight for that chip as well, to take down the reigning contenders of PSG LGD from the last Riyadh Masters, and even of course Gaming Gladiators, with how dominant they've been this season as well. But it's been a pleasure to be able to cast Riyadh Masters so far with the play-ins and the group stages, but for us on Group D, we are going to be done for the night. Of course, there are plenty other streams going on, like we've been saying a lot throughout today. Everything still matters, and there's still going to be tiebreakers from Group A without knowing what the final results are for Group B. So for us, we are done for tonight on this stream. Appreciate everyone tuning in. See you guys another time.